He's threatening rook
Whoa,
takes
whoa, whoa.
d5.
Okay, now we gotta calculate. What is happening?
Both sides are getting a queen.
Oh, he's taking the knight with check!
Owie.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
getting queen first. I don't know what he's doing, but either way. No, he took the...
Oh my gosh, what is he
Was
doing?
What is
Too
this?
many.
Rook
Who
takes
let the dogs out?
Get a queen.
I don't know. I feel like a dog right now.
Chess.com is about playing.
The Isle of Man. Chess players travel from all over the world to one of the smallest isles in the British Isles. I don't even know if that's true. Let's redo it. Back to you. Hi. It's rather shiny. How are you, my lady? Right, are we going? Young Indian stars Nihal Sarin and Pragnanandana. Pragnananda. With only half of the top 6 boards surviving, can I just call him Prague for this? Pragnananda. Ananda. How am I standing? You like it? Keep going. LOL, I f up everything. Okay. Back in. Back it up. As we begin, I totally messed. We're going to do it again, but I'm getting closer. One more time. With round 2 set to, okay, I don't like that. Stay on me. We're going to restart. Grandmasters and India's top player, Vishy Anand, trying to defend. 9 2700s gave up half points in the. I hope you're enjoying this. Beautiful position for black from the French. Can't believe I'm saying that. Oh, we don't have light. Hey, everybody. That's a blooper. Is that white gets a big attack. I don't like what I'm doing. We got to restart. I'm sorry. This is for white. But the truth is, black has equalized. I still don't like what I'm doing. I'm sorry. We got to redo it. Right. Tips about why this is okay for black in the sense that the
so close.
We have to do it again. I was close. What's that? Oh, right, yeah. Lovely day, isn't it? Okay, I just wanted to get that. I'm going to get set for round 3 here in just a moment. Restarting. Yeah. Oh, so you don't have any idea who's going to win in round 8 either, do you? Yeah. Well, we're going to find out as the top players all near the top of the standings. That was really dumb. Let's redo that. In the final 2 games, who's going to pull and play their best. I like the idea, but I f***ed it up. Yeah. But we are going to find out if it... Redo. Wait, am I still in the right position? Who will find themselves alone atop the standings when the Chess.com Isle of Man International comes to a close? I don't like this take. Let's do it again. Will Maxime Vachier-Lagrave give Zhang migraines, or will the young American star continue to rise? Find out along with other that we're going to find out about. Hikaru.
Yeah.
Big win here. And let's restart.
Yeah.
Will one of the latter three be able to find out now, round 6 of the Chess.com Island? Sorry. 4 players in the joint lead here in the Isle of Man. No. Do you say in the Isle of Man or at the Isle? Here, on, or on, in, on, at, on?
Welcome to the Isle of Man.
Got it. Nailed it. What?
And welcome to the second semifinal match here of the 2018 Speed Chess Championship. Grandmaster Robert Hess alongside me, Danny Wrench, and we're pumped. Today is Hikaru Nakamura versus Levon Aronian, and let's dive right in. Quickly to remind you that yesterday, obviously, we said goodbye to Jan-Christoph Duda, whose kind of magical ride here, being an underdog, pulling upsets, went bye-bye. But it led to a daily question that we actually had. Obviously, Wesley So played phenomenally, but it made us wonder what would be who might be the next rising star that we would invite next year. And I think the best place to go is to the community when we have questions. So get involved today. Use the hashtag SpeedChess. Let us know your thoughts on the next top junior that we should invite, up-and-coming star. But all right, Hikaru, Robert. Hikaru is on the line too, but Robert, break us down. What do we see here? What do the numbers tell us? And what do we have in store here?
Well, Hikaru Nakamura has to be the favorite considering his history in the Speed Chess Championship. He's only lost to Magnus Carlsen, the reigning world champion, the newly recrowned world champion and birthday boy. So 70% win probability for Nakamura seems fair, especially given the 1 minute, 1 second increment portion, 6-4 in favor of Nakamura. I think that's even not giving him enough credit for his bullet skills. And it was
well, I mean, okay, Levon has also played very well in the bullet portion so far, I think, and I think that it's more a testament to Levon's performance than it is us not being aware. Everyone knows what Hikaru Nakamura is capable of in bullet, right? But there you go. So the segment probability there is what kind of maybe separates Hikaru throughout there. But the path these guys took to get here has been impressive on both sides.
Yeah, Nakamura plus 25 against Ifan. That was just, she actually had many good positions, and he admitted as much. Just things were going his way that day against MVL. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave plus 8 is still great. But look on the other side. Aronian destroyed Fabiano.
I mean, just maybe still the surprise so far of all the matchups in the bracket, right? Plus 14 against the World Championship challenger. Levon came to play that day.
And then he also had a good time playing Giri, plus 7. That's also a monstrous score against a very worthy challenger.
Nothing like beating Anish Giri by 7 points, I think, right? I think Anish would agree with that.
Yeah,
so
you just hope that he's listening to
he's listening right now so he can start the trolling on Twitter. Let it begin. But there you see our 2 players right above us. Hikaru Nakamura got the headphones, probably got some music rocking already. Levon Aronian also got some nice, sexy headphones. I don't know, are those Bose? What are those? Those are nice-looking headphones. Probably just noise canceling, though. Not sure what music Levon is listening to.
I like the books on the shelf that he's now blocking.
Yeah, it doesn't seem nearly as animated. And kitty kitty hiss hiss. We love that. We love that Twitch. You haven't seen that username in a while. Thanks for being here. Thanks to everybody that's with us already, whether you're on Twitch or Chess.com TV. I think we're in store for a really exciting matchup today.
Absolutely.
And we are going to be getting going here in just a moment. I think the games will begin momentarily. The players are set. They are ready. I believe Hikaru is in. He's traveling right now, not at his normal home site there with the red wall, the infamous red wall behind Hikaru Nakamura, as he's become known for his streaming, right?
Yep.
I know Levon is also traveling with family. Unfortunately, he left Ponchik at home. He said Ponchik's being disciplined right now for some behavior that he didn't want to get into. But all right, we have chess, we have liftoff. I think Levon is going to be looking to challenge Hikaru in as many main lines as possible. I think he needs to get a lead here in the 5-minute and 3-minute portions to have a chance to win this match.
Yeah, we were discussing this yesterday, that Levon really needs to get off to a hot start against Hikaru, because if you're not up by 2-3 games heading into the bullet, I don't think you can feel particularly comfortable.
Right.
We might get a really exciting game
Yeah,
here.
we're already diving in here to something that's
Ooh, Bishop
pretty
D6.
sharp.
Look at Levon go. That leads me to believe that he's either been preparing hard for this match, or
Yep.
this is some secret sauce preparation that he's had.
And Hikaru comes right back with a move knight g5 and gives us our first vintage Hikaru in the wild sighting of the day. That's Hikaru Nakamura number 7, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Looking up to the shoulder, slightly questioning his opponent's move, but also trying to recollect theory. That is what that look means right there.
Yeah,
There you go.
And already Queen H5 looks like a good possibility for White, right?
Yep.
The pawn on H6 will be pinned. You're hitting F7. But I wonder, in there, Queen H5 is on the board. I was going to say, I wonder if Black's going to just castle and ignore it.
And that's exactly what Levon does, and Hikaru quickly retreats the knight, bet by F5. So kind of similar to yesterday in the sense that we came really flying out of the gates with Wesley So and Jan-Krzysztof Duda. They both played very quickly in game one, maybe even some nerves kind of being worked out a little bit, neither side wanting to get down on time. And so Levon, I think from a practical point of view, knows that Hikaru is just the fastest chess player, especially online, I think, on the planet. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if Levon came here ready to try to get an edge on the clock when possible. But look at this. Is Hikaru just bailing out in game one with a perpetual?
I wonder if he'll play on, because
I don't know. He's gonna think about it.
let's see. Right now, it's going to be a
he's
draw.
just gonna take the draw.
Interesting how quickly that happened, and it was a draw by repetition, right? Just
Yep.
Queen H6, Queen G6.
Yep.
But Black just had too much, right? Even if you took on E6, it only meant a second pawn
Right.
for the piece, so it wasn't quite enough compensation for a full piece.
Right.
And that's why, well, speaking
Hikaru
of piece,
took
it's a
the
peaceful result.
Peaceful result, a very quick peaceful result. Only not even 3 full minutes in, and we already have a result on the board. Hikaru clearly bringing the energy today. Why the fans love him? They love his the way he just wears his emotions on his sleeve and just lets you know how he's feeling. And right now he's bobbing his head, having a good time here, kind of on his home turf here at Chess.com. He's just ready to play. And
Whoa. Quick shot, Knight D2
whoa,
there.
Knight D2 comes out of
Because
nowhere.
look at the bishops spying at each other.
Discovery on the bishop.
And I don't think that's that big of a deal, right? You can just take on D2 with probably the knight, I guess. And by taking on D2 with the... Wait, actually, I
Now
can't
you
decide which
move.
piece I want to take with. And
He
there's
does
also-
take with the knight. I think this is fine. After we're going to see bishop takes d3 and then rook e1 and
now
rook
knight takes
e1.
D5 is a threat, yeah.
Okay,
so he had to move the
interesting.
bishop back
Yeah.
as he did the G6.
And so Hikaru has just sort of snuck in and grabbed the bishop pair.
Right.
Um,
And this is a very important bishop pair here, because the light
Yep.
squares could come back to haunt Aronian. That's why he went knight a4 to say, well, you're not going to be stuck with the bishop. Not stuck, left with a bishop
Yep.
pair, because I can always take on b6, and there it is.
and so that's what Aronian does. And I think that Hikaru will probably return the favor at some point with a capture on e3, unless he thinks that bringing the knight to h4 has some sort of outside attacking chances. But I don't see how the queen gets involved over here on the king side, so I expect an exchange on e3 to happen. But all right, f6, that's an interesting way to get the queen involved, right? If you can open up the f-file, bring some heat over here to f2, then you may see this knight stay on the board and try to be a useful attacker.
Bishop f4 is a good response for that
Yep.
exact reason, right? Now after pawn takes e5, I take with the bishop, and I will have an isolated pawn on d4, but it's protected, well protected by the bishop
Yep,
on e5.
and well locked in himself there, kind of an outpost square and poking over there at the g7 square. So Hikaru quickly playing rook a4.
And look at him bouncing
And
his
he's
head.
just bouncing around. He came to have fun today. Levon much more kind of stoic in his look there. I think Levon just maybe doesn't play as much online chess too. And right now he's here to win chess games right now. So he's got the real focused look.
Yeah, he's a very quick-witted individual. For those of you who don't,
Yeah,
haven't heard him.
Most things that are said before the show starts can't be said
Yeah.
on camera.
But he's super quick-witted. But I think he really cares about the SEC so
Yep,
much
yep.
that despite that he's a fun-loving guy and likes to crack jokes, he's here to win this match.
Yep.
And we talked about this, that in the previous Speed Chess Championships, he's run some rough pairings.
Yeah.
Where he's can bounce in the early rounds, and here he beat both Fabiano, which was a very tough first-round pairing. It was on
Destroyed
paper.
Fabiano,
Yeah,
yeah.
destroyed him. And then similarly dispatched Geary in a very impressive manner.
Yep.
So he's been in the Speed Chess Championship.
Well,
to
and you
win
and I
it.
got to spend some time with Levon, not just in the pre-calls we do here, but actually at the Isle of Man,
Yeah.
just at the end of October, and we know that he was pumped and excited at his performance so far, and excited at the opportunity to take on Hikaru. So This is, and I believe what Wesley said is true, that whoever gets past today's event will probably be favored against him in the finals. Not to say that Wesley isn't playing very well right now. Obviously, was fantastic yesterday. Remind everybody of the format. We get a lot of these questions, so we came up with the best way to describe it for you. This is the format of the match. You have 90 minutes, 60 minutes, and then 30 minutes, but a constantly running clock, which you can see right there above the analysis board. So the players competing against their opponent, but also against the overall game clock, trying to have a lead before time runs out in each of those portions. And, of course, this year's event has $50,000 on the line, total prizes. So, pretty fun stuff. If you happen to be tuning into the Speed Chess Championship for the first time, welcome. All right, Knight D6. I like the way Hikaru's played this, and now look at this.
I just can't stop looking at his camera.
I mean, he's giving you things to look at, right? That's what he does. And Rook takes F3 is a potential idea here, everyone. Watch out for that. If White made some random move, not only is the E4 square available for the Knight, but if something like this happens and Black can quickly bring pieces over here to the King's side, that would be very dangerous. So Levon playing Rook D to C1, offering an exchange. But I do like the tempo of this game for Hikaru, given that
his car's face.
I think he's being extra animated today. He knows what he's doing.
He's just like disgusted.
He's giving us gift material. What is he doing? Hikaru.
I mean, like, I'm trying to pay attention to the board, but I
Right.
keep just heading back to his camera because it's just so funny. But, okay, so Black is clearly better here, has more space to work with, but it's one of those positions that, yes, you have to consider your sacrifice. Right? It takes F3. I don't think you have enough firepower remaining to get away with it.
Yeah, especially with those rooks on the board. So even though Hikaru kind of scowled at it, I think that was Levon's idea, to get some pieces off the board to make an exchange sack less likely. So the question is then, Robert, do you want your knight on C4 or E4? Or bishop on E4 first?
Good question. I think bishop E4 will be just met by knight to D2, followed up by pawn F3. So, okay, knight E4 was played.
So knight E4 instead sort of pins the knight, because now the rook and knight are both ganging up on that poor little Freddy on F2.
Look at him go. Bishop H5.
And now he's forcing the knight away, but is there an F2 pawn hanging? Or
wait, knight F2, rook F1, do we have knight D1 at the end?
Look at this. Knight F2, rook F1, knight D1, putting the knight on a square that normally doesn't venture to. And that might be good enough. But then there's even moves like queen to B3, because if you trade, the knight's still trapped, and I'm threatening things like G4.
But I have queen H4 there, and I'm trying to get aggressive.
Wow, well, Hikaru believes in you, Robert, and he thinks he can go for this. Levon quickly responding with queen G3.
Oh, bishop G6, of course. That way it protects the D3. And look at Levon, he shook his head. He was not expecting that move. He just overlooked it. And he still has good chances to hold this game, because I would go rook F1 here, I guess. But now knight D3 is a really annoying point. If you go knight E4 and trade the knights, then it's opposite colored bishop position. You feel more comfortable.
Yeah, you'd be feeling decent about your drawing chances if we get opposite colored bishops. But knight D3 is a chance for Hikaru to eliminate this very strong piece that's hitting G7.
Yeah. And maybe after rook F1, knight D3, you can throw in bishop C7, and that might be sort of a saving move. But it's not looking very pleasant for White here, because you're finding kind of these last-ditch efforts just to stay in the game rather than actually.
Right. You're hoping to, not be
forward.
down material. You're hoping to get a decent chance to draw in the endgame. But Hikaru definitely was correct, I think, in gobbling that pawn on F2. So if you're just joining us, critical tactic happened here in the game when Hikaru built up the pressure here against poor little Freddy, and then won that pawn when Levon played knight D2, kind of calling his bluff. And now Levon's got something to figure out.
Yeah, it's one of those instances where you don't want to expose your king side by playing a move like G4 earlier.
Right.
That's probably the move that he should have played. So
yep.
Sort of being cautious
on a move like bishop H5 even.
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
G4. I agree.
G4,
yeah. Okay, well, we are sitting here waiting for Levon to make a move, and now he's about to cross under the minute line, and this is the reason why Hikaru is so dangerous in this format. It's not just that the chess moves are coming and they're good, but the speed of which they're coming, right? And right now, that time advantage right there is a big one. We've got Chess Bay's breaking down Hikaru's music. Shout out to Chess Bay, the one, the only, the lovely Chess Bay. Thanks for being with us. Thanks to all of our mods, of course, and those who are actively in the chess community. But there we go. I love that. Who Let the Dogs Out? Queen, Bon Jovi, ABBA, and I'm missing the top one.
Darude Sandstorm.
Okay, I think that's like one of Hikaru's kind of indie favorites. I've never heard of Darude Sandstorm, and maybe that makes me a total idiot, but that wouldn't be surprising. I don't know, but I've never heard of Darude Sandstorm. You heard of him?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, there you go. Loving the breakdown there. And plus, I just love pie charts because I'm always hungry, but I just love them.
Are you really talking to me about hunger right now?
Exactly.
I haven't eaten today. Hungry.
Desert Storm, Carl, Soryan, everybody. Banana Bread, thanks everyone who's at the Chess TV chat. We see you too over there. Thanks for being here. Look at that move, knight to c4. Kind of a fork on the bishop and knight, because I was going to say white really doesn't want to take there and give Hikaru this passed pawn, but he kind of had to, right?
People are mad about the sandstorm thing going on.
That I don't know during
Yeah,
Sandstorm.
were you not alive in the 90s? I mean, I was born in the 90s.
I was born in the 80s, so I was technically a 90s kid as far as a lot of things I remember, and I'm open to learning about a new artist that I guess somehow slipped my attention. So
All right, well, the chess.
back to the chess.
Look at this-
B5 and C4.
There's also, if only B5 and C4 existed, I think black would still be better.
Right.
But now there's B7 and C6
Right.
in
This
addition.
is quite the inchworm here. Look at that move D5. Kind of desperate by Levon, but he's trying to open up this diagonal
Actually,
so that
extremely smart.
so the bishop can stay on both G7 and guard the passed pawns. Everyone, that's again. So it is just a desperate pawn sacrifice, but a really creative idea, as Robert's saying, because it opens up a much better coordination for the pieces to try to blockade.
And also,
I was going to say, you've highlighted in obstacle bishop endings, this extra pawn is not going to make a difference, right? You're either going to lose or not
Right.
based on your ability to hold, maybe keep pressure on the dark squares while this guy watches. But you're not going to lose because of one extra pawn, so that's why it works.
and right now white is down 3 pawns, but it's if you took the queens off, there actually still are pretty good drawing chances.
Yeah. Yeah, if you take the queens off and white's king is not worried about getting checkmated, this dark square bishop is doing everything it needs to do to keep the pawns blockaded.
Yep. So look at Levon. He's just trying to sit on the position.
Here comes queen g4
So
check. Watch
king
out for
F2.
that.
You gotta go king.
Probably
F2.
you have to run and allow the queen trade.
Maybe
which
king
is,
h2. You could
yeah,
go, but he's not afraid of the queen trade. Look at Hikaru trying to evaluate.
Yeah,
Because he could have went queen f5 check and trade the queens.
but he's not sure if he should.
Yep.
So
king
instead, he's
d2.
trying to keep a mating net going.
Look at this.
This is actually a brilliant little idea. Levon is running the king to the queen side, and now Hikaru may be regretting that he didn't trade queens, because how is this queen ever going to leave the g7
Play queen
square?
f8. So queen f8 is a sneaky move because not only does it stop
Hit-
king c3, but after queen f8 you can go b4 and try to trade off the pawns on that square. with
Ah,
check.
interesting. Hikaru didn't see that. He played bishop e4.
He'll go there eventually, I feel like, because queen f8 now.
Okay, he's shuffling. He
But
either
how does
doesn't
he
see
make
this
progress?
idea or he's got another one. Here he's got a different one. He's trying to bring the king up. You know what he's going to do? He's going to sack g7 and try to run the king up.
But-
I don't know how to do it, but
Yeah.
that might be what he's thinking. I still love your idea of queen f7, queen f8, but I think at this point we can safely say Hikaru doesn't see this idea yet.
Yeah, and also Levon only has 4 seconds left, so maybe
Right.
Hikaru's just trying to play quick moves to catch him off guard.
And again, the reason we like this idea is that when you're hitting this, the point is if the king stays on this diagonal, now you can play b4, and white can never take because the queen comes in with check.
Wow, Levon has 1 second left, just over 1 second.
Living on the increment, living on the
Oh.
increment. Oh, and he
Queen
does.
e4 check.
Queen e4 check trades queens. Maybe Hikaru takes it now.
But when they takes the d pawn, that's just sort of my idea, but I actually don't think that works either. Because this opposite color bishop dynamic means that it's
That's
easy to stop
Hikaru
the
number
pawn.
11 right there, often confused with number 7.
But
you
actually, if
go.
he goes queen e4 and takes with the pawn, he can just bring his king to the g4 square potentially, where the h4 pawn feels very iffy. So he's calculating it now, but I think the bishop e4
He's
back.
still just keeping the pieces on the board. I think partly just trying to take advantage of the time that
1
Levon.
second. I mean, it's
Yeah,
amazing
Levon
that he
is
hasn't flagged yet.
completely under time
Oh
pressure.
my! Wait, how could he?
He has .4. He got the time back, and now he finally runs out of time.
How is that possible? You can't have 0.4 seconds left on any move.
That's actually a great point. I have no idea.
What just happened there?
He had .4 seconds left after getting a second back.
Question marks?
The math doesn't. I mean, we
Don't
know
ask-
it's not my strong suit, but,
Yeah, but-
no, it doesn't add up. You're right. But okay, Hikaru strikes first, and I think that this idea of keeping the queens on the board ultimately paid off for Hikaru
for
there,
sure.
because the hardest thing for Levon to think about under time pressure was all the potential mating tricks.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Hikaru kept those threats alive showed why he's so good in these formats. And there we see an image of Hikaru, who will be playing for the Seattle Sluggers in the Pro Chess League starting on January 8th. So good reminder of that. Look at Hikaru going right back to it. And is he going to go? No, he does not now take on h6. If you're just joining us, game 1 actually ended very quickly in a draw. Look at the analysis board. Hikaru took on h6, played queen g6, and then to our kind of surprise, just it ended so quickly, instead of going for anything, he just accepted the perpetual, took a draw. But here, Robert, he's repeated that line, but not the idea of a perpetual.
Yeah, he's saying that I'll be a pawn down, but look at the dark squares, right?
Right.
I'm the only one with dark square bishop. You can put your knight on c6, as was just played to keep control over the e5 square. But white's attack looks like it might come pretty quickly. Now, black should play bishop d7 and try to go to e8, and that's another defender on the king side.
Yep.
But rook g3 is coming at some point soon.
Well, and plus the battery on e6 makes this hard to do.
Yeah, and your rook and bishop can't share the square, right? You would love to have your rook and bishop on e8, but that's not happening. So
Shout out to HB43, who also donated yesterday. Thank you for your support, buddy. Glad you're liking the show.
All right, so he's put the bishop on f7. That's the plan. So queen.
The queen might even come all the way back to d1 here, right?
Yeah.
Keep an idea of swinging over to the queen side if you need to.
Yeah, I guess no matter what, Levon is going to play bishop f7 just to safe guard the e6 square, and maybe he'll play for g5, honestly. Because if you start leaving the king side...
That's a good point. In fact, I love this move.
Well, not yet.
I know. I wish I could do it right away, but e6 is falling.
But to play bishop f7, then go for
and
g5.
then here comes g5. Hikaru taking his time to think about that one, and here we see Levon getting a time edge for one of the first times in the match, which I think, again, is something he'll need to do consistently.
Oh, king h8 was not... I was not expecting...
Hikaru sees bishop g5 and
Levon
just
missed that.
Loves it. Loves it. Hikaru peered in. Now he's shaking his head, telling us he doesn't believe that his opponent has the...
Oh, but take on e7 maybe. Just to go knight e7, rook g6, knight takes g6 and say...
I do love queen sacks.
Knight takes e7 is definitely the best way to go about this. Because, especially in a blitz game, you have a knight, a rook, and one pawn. It's Lasker compensation. That's what the term is for the queen.
Look at you pulling out the old Lasker reference.
Oh, yeah, I had
Loves
to.
it. And you've got a target.
Yeah.
Right? White lacks a target. So, again, regardless of the mathematical evaluation, this is a position that is very tricky for white. And I think you and I have often said in this format, the queen is just such a beast, and we think that over time it's always hard to compete with the queen in rapid and blitz. But objectively, I think black is doing okay here.
Yeah, actually, I think white is certainly better, but black has a clear plan.
Yep.
And actually, it's not very clear what white is going to do, because black's setup, despite the ugly bishop on f7, is very solid. Right? You have e6, d5, f5 setup that limits the bishop on d3. So it's not like that bishop's doing so great either.
Right.
And that knight on g6 at some point can reroute itself.
Right, it can reroute itself to f6, maybe even... Okay, you don't necessarily... I think you actually want to keep the knight on the board. You're not looking for a square like e4 here, but that's a smart move by Hikaru, because if we're looking to learn from these games, everybody, you want to open up the position for the queen so she can quickly spy targets on both sides of the board.
And extremely smart by Levon to not trade the rook, because that d4 pawn can become a target, right?
Yep.
There's no pawn protecting it. So instead of trading rooks and making Hikaru's life a little bit easier, he's now flipping from the c file to the d file, and watch out for e5 ideas.
Well, I was going to say, plus, even though I touted Hikaru opening the position, which I know we would agree is good for the queen, it also opened up this square on d5 for the knight as well. So there's all kinds of things that Levon has going for him in this position, despite being down a queen.
So you got to calculate e5, but I guess it doesn't work because bishop takes f5 comes in, and now your rook on d7 is also hanging. But again, that e5 move at some point is going to be very tempting.
Levon quickly plays the other rook to d8, and again, I think the time is indicative, too, of the fact that Hikaru knows this is harder than it looks. This is not easy for him to find the right plan for the queen against the pieces.
Right.
I think Levon should just play just instant moves here, right? The position is so comfy, cozy for black.
And he's up a minute on the clock.
Yeah, and he's up a minute on the clock. I see this knight relocating itself to d5.
Ooh, I don't know about
that move. I see just the pressure on d4 making it very hard for white to ever focus on anything else. And here comes Levon with that plan.
Yeah, because
Because
Hikaru tried to put the bishop on b3 to hit e6, but a knight on d5 blockades that bishop.
Yeah, but I still like that because I like keeping the knight on the board.
You might just bring it to c6 to win the d4 pawn.
No, I mean, keeping the knight on the board is really the one piece that white lacks here, right? So if you can just keep that knight bouncing around, make white's flight very hard.
Does e5 work here? e5, pawn takes e5, and then there was rook d1 check as a possibility. So he didn't go for it.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. We had a discovery there, everybody. Robert's eyes are quick. Despite all of this happening, Levon may have had this opportunity.
Queen c5 at the end, hitting two minor pieces.
Boomtown, double attack, fork emote.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. Well, look at Hikaru go, d5.
That's a nice defensive sacrifice, because if you're going to lose that pawn, try to break up black structure. You're trying to open up things for the queen. Again, that's what you have to do in these types of positions.
But that pawn might just start becoming a passer. d4 here. Keep it going.
Yeah, this is super double-edged, and now black is...
I love black's position
Black is
now.
running with the d pawn.
Yeah, that's not an easy pawn to stop, because now we trade bishops on b3, which means you don't have a cover for the d1 square. And
honestly, if Levon wins this game, this may go down as one of the best games in the match, because this is a really, really instructive display of how you can use the pieces to outplay a queen and prevent her from getting targets.
Knight e5 here. Just give up that. Okay, rook d5, similar concept.
Yeah,
Take on f5.
If you trade the d-pawn is dirty. Dirty Daryl, as they say. Did they say that?
Not that I know.
Okay,
but
well,
I'll let you
they do
go
now.
with it. So wait,
G5?
Yeah, well, rook f5 would come. So pawn
Okay,
takes
so you
G4
got to take first.
Yep, pawn g4, hg4, and then g5 is certainly a possibility here. Because you win the g4 pawn.
Pawn g4, hg4, g5. Even just playing d3 and just getting that pawn one step closer is going to really give this queen headaches. You never want your queen, the most powerful piece, to be blockading a pawn.
Never. You want
Right?
a knight.
It's just not ideal. And that's exactly where she's at right now. She can't do anything but worry about Dirty Daryl over here.
Dirty Daryl.
I
So
don't know.
weird.
Maybe my boy Daryl's watching. Shout out to Daryl. Daryl Morey. I know you're watching this, buddy. Not that you're dirty in any way.
Yeah.
Just
Just
Daryl's the only Daryl I know. He's literally the only Daryl I know. Oh, can I call you Daryl?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. You know Daryl Strawberry.
Yeah, that's true. I do. Daryl Strawberry. Yep. All right. King G2. Bring the rook to the C file. Get in on C2. That's going to help Daryl run.
Yeah, rook c5 is a very tempting.
I also like this move Knight G6. If we're going to flip things around and maybe try to make the king a target as well. But perhaps better just to remain all in with the d-pawn rather than looking to get things against the king. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, a5 is another move that comes to mind, saying that pawn on b3 might quickly become a target. If I go a5 and rook b5, maybe I'll just win that pawn. But I definitely like rook c5.
Yeah, even if you create a second passer.
Exactly.
Right? Just try to go make an a-pawn over
Exactly.
here.
Yeah, so that would be... I mean, Black just has many different options here. And Lev is up on the clock. Okay, it's about to be level on the clock. But very good time management this far by him, sacrificing the queen when he sort of had to. I think he sort of stumbled into it more so than planned it.
Right.
But still, it was a very good decision in that moment. Look at Hikaru. He's not comfortable here because, well, he's worse.
Right. He may not be coming from that shirt either. We might want to talk to him about plaid.
Yeah, you don't want to wear plaid on the big screen is what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm not sure about the style today. But all right. Rook e4.
So rook c5 is a response?
Okay, I do like this move because this g5 square being so protected. You know, again, I wasn't sure we should go after the king when we have the d-pawn with all our hopes, but if you can balance threats by the d-pawn against the white king, that's also going to make Hikaru's life difficult.
But don't you always say you want to pawn on g5 if you're going to put your knight on g6, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want a knight behind
that's
the
why.
pawn?
Look at him trading off a set of rooks now.
Very smart.
If he does, I don't see an immediate follow-up, but he's one move away from just, you know, if this knight can just get into a square, we're going to have a new lady, baby girl on d1.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how you avoid that trade because rook e2 is the response if you move that rook to, say, b4.
Right. Rook goes anywhere else. Here comes rook e2. Now you've still got the king to worry about and the d-pawn. So I think Hikaru's going to have to trade, and indeed he does.
And f4.
f4. Wowzers.
You need to kick that knight away. So.
Okay, and this is where it's going to get tough because now that both sides are under time pressure, despite how good Levon has played, we know what happens when the queen, right? The queen is just so much easier to play with when you don't have time on the clock.
Just protect that pawn.
Oh, knight b4, so good. Oh, so good.
But I don't know if it's enough because the king will sit on d1 and that queen will get
right.
checked.
That's why this idea by Hikaru is so good because if you can free the queen to do what she does best, get out here and create chaos.
Yep.
That's where the queen will outplay the knight and rook, and so a brilliant point.
Look at this. Please take me on d3 because then you lose your queen to rook d4. So Lev just creating little problems one by one.
Show me your pin emotes, chat. We love it. Wow.
So where does Hikaru go? I guess he wants to go g5. There it is. And that g5 pawn would be nice because he can
now
go
I like
g6.
rook h. Oh, I wanted rook h4. I wanted to swing around for mating nets. Okay, Hikaru stopping that now. Don't play rook h4. You'll lose it. Queen f2 check.
Immediately.
And this is getting tricky because actually queen f3 check is a threat winning the pawn. So you had to play rook d4.
Yep. And so also that pawn g5 in some lines goes too far, right? If you go g6 check, I'll go king f6, and you're gonna have a hard time keeping that pawn on the board.
Yep.
And I'm gonna g6 played, king f6. And so now the issue is
don't play knight e5 because queen f2.
Right.
Winning the rook.
Doesn't actually work. Knight e5 might be a good move.
You can't take the rook because of a fork.
Yep. So knight e5, queen f2, king takes g6.
Oh, I'm not sure if he saw that. Fork emotes. Look at this. Hikaru he can't take the rook. Wow, what a nice tactic. I'm not sure Levon saw that.
Yeah, knights are super tricky in general, but especially in blitz games. So he's just going rook back.
I think he should go knight e5 now. See it the second time around.
Well, I wonder if b7 is hanging. That's what he's more concerned about.
Good point, right? Knight e5 takes b7. Queen's going to get frisky out there, and They actually just agreed to a draw, which I don't really hold against Levon
Yeah.
because he was getting under time pressure. You're feeling nervous about what the queen can do to you when you don't have time to worry about all those little crossfire checks. So
his best opportunities were also behind him. Like when he
Yes.
started the pass pawn, the 2 rooks and the knight versus 1 rook, that was really
Right.
where, and the queen, that was really where he was going.
Yep.
Playing for a win, good realization. You don't
Yep.
want to go overboard. You're only down 1 game. He
still
lost the
very
game with
early
the
in the
white
match,
pieces,
right?
but-
You're not in any kind of must-win scenario.
right.
Yeah, but that was a really interesting game. If we keep getting dynamic chess like that, we're in for a treat today.
Yep.
We're also in for some Twitter action. The daily question today was asking you what young up-and-coming superstar you would like us to invite next year, given that we had the sad moment of Jan-Christoph Duda. His Cinderella story here in the Speed Chess Championship came to an end yesterday, but he still has a very bright future. So what other young players do you want us to get? Look at that,
I'll
Firuja.
answer the question in a second. I just look at this game.
Yeah,
White's,
this game is nuts.
White's down a piece. But yeah, I mean, the Nihal Sarin is one of the recommendations
Yeah, but he
there.
sacked that
Alireza
piece.
Firuja. Yeah, because the knight's coming to e3.
Knight comes to e3, and then we
You can't
have
take on e3 because after
Did
I
you
take
open
with
the
my
rook?
pawn.
take on e3. We open the rook.
This feels like Levon's game. This has to be. Right, because you're just...
Yeah, this is an attack that's about to get nasty.
All right, so he went knight to b8. So can I go queen g3 check?
It's a nice
F4?
move, by the way, to come around to d7 and try to defend f6. So, good move by Hikaru. He bobs his head because he knows it. Right?
He's happy with the move he just played, but there has to be something here, right?
It seems super dangerous. Like, what you want to do is you just want to get this rook on the f-file, though. How do you do it?
Right, and I was thinking if you go queen g3 check, king h7, then f4, but then there's some rook g8
Yeah.
stuff. I'm not really sure what's going on
And
here.
you've created tactical consequences for yourself. You might have to
Yeah.
deal with things like knight g4.
Exactly.
Right? And this is a real problem. So Levon has some things to think about. Yeah, and again, if you want to get involved on Twitter, we went away from that, but please let us know your thoughts. There's always the obvious answer. Nihal Sarin, the countryman of Pragnandana.
Pragnandana.
Make him say, Sorry, I cannot not now. He just makes me want to rap. Pragnandana. I wonder what his rap name would be if he was a gangster rapper. Pragnandana.
Don't ask me. You're the one who comes up with these kind of crazy
anyway,
concepts.
That's food for thought.
I just have to put up with them.
King h1, pawn on f4 is the goal. That's why you put the king on that square. But
Look at Hikaru's face. He just keeps scrunching his face, questioning the moves.
Yep. Now the knight could come to f5, by the way, because in this position, as much as you traded a piece, it's not easy for black to get rid of that queen. And here comes f4, right?
Definitely something that you can consider. I guess you'll have to move your queen and then move your knight away from f6 and hope that you're
Yeah,
surviving. Knight
he
f5
goes.
is
I
played.
like that.
Yeah,
I
'cause
like that idea.
you have to take. I feel like you probably do, but maybe you don't take quite yet. Can you start with king h7? This?
Yeah, that was sneaky by Hikaru. Sneaky Hikaru.
I'm very worried for
Levon.
Levon, of course. I
Okay,
mean, queen
here's
h3
my move.
here.
Queen h3.
Yeah.
I'm threatening to take, and then shake and bake on h6,
Yep.
followed by discovered checks.
You also can just threaten bishop g5 immediately. Just
Yeah,
using that
very
pin
good
on
point.
the
So
h-pawn.
just to show you, if black makes some random move, we got all kinds of nastiness coming over here. I think. Ooh, no. I was about to say we're gonna see queen h3, but he plays g4.
I think he's just hoping that
I
this
think
pin is
LeBron
strong
just
enough.
wanted me to use my emote. Sorry,
Whoa!
I don't get g4 that often. Go ahead.
Whoa,
keep
look at
talking.
this. Knight takes h6, so he just went for the sack right away, saying that if the king takes on h6, the big problem is after king h6, g5 check, you can't keep sacrificing because look at this king. That king would end up on g5, and if your king's on g5, you're just asking to get checkmated.
I told you, g4 always works. G4 always works.
So Hikaru is now deep in thought here.
Levon
looks
taking
Levon.
his first kind of relaxed pose of the day, really. Is that a chess bookshelf or like a other literature bookshelf?
Probably
Well,
other
well,
literature.
If I had to guess, knowing Levon, but
Uh,
wow, but this has been a nice attacking game and a ton of dynamic chess today.
Yeah,
I
this
feel like the excitement is real. I mean,
He
the
promised us. He said we're not going to get 12 draws
yeah,
in a
he
row.
he did, and we've had queen sacks and nice mating attacks and inadvertent rhyme times, and we're all here together. So thank you for being with us, whether you're at Twitch or Chess.com TV. Don't go anywhere before you hit a follow button, and keep following this channel for the biggest events in chess. All right, knight takes h6.
Hikaru thinking with his ear, as you know well. Which Hikaru look is this?
Yeah, that was number 11.
Okay.
Number 11 is a general, again, it gets confused with number 7. Number 7 happens early in the opening stage because he's trying to remember theory.
Yeah.
Number 11, he is like skeptical but also a little bit nervous.
Okay.
He's skeptical. That's actually a mixed breed, right there. That was a mixed breed.
Someone just
Wild
said,
Hikaru.
someone said
I wonder if he can hear me. I wonder if he's doing it on purpose because he's so good at playing to the crowd.
someone said Anand taking a swig of vodka. I don't know if they realize Anand's not playing here, or maybe they're with Vishy. I don't think Vishy would do that.
Right.
So,
I don't think Vishy drinks alcohol.
Yeah. So you
partakes
gotta
in
get
that,
your chess
so.
players correct here.
Yeah.
Okay, so this knight is still hanging on h6. But
Right.
king takes h6, g5 check is the huge concern. You don't want to allow after king h6, g5 check just to move your king back, because then after pawn takes
No matter where you go, this is a happy moment for white.
extremely, right? That's
Although
a
if
pass
the
pawn.
king runs
Then
all the
rook
way out.
g1, and your king's not running
Okay.
too far.
Okay. So I can't take and play king e8, knight f8. That was I was seeing how far I could get.
You can, but I don't know how.
I'm like,
So, like,
run,
rook g8 check?
Forrest, run.
Yeah, but this is actually pretty direct. Rook g8 check, knight f8, and queen h5, threatening.
Oh,
rook
and I
takes
can't
f8.
even get there because f7's falling.
Yep.
Okay, you win. Forrest falls short. Sometimes you just got to keep on running, though, when you got a king here in trouble. So Hikaru's going to be calculating some lines like that even if he doesn't go for it. But look at the time. Look at Levon.
Yep.
Bring in the tempo. Bring in the heat, right? Not going to get down on time against the infamous legend that is Hikaru Nakamura.
And that's what I love about Levon's style. He's not afraid of anyone. Some
Yep.
people would play in a speed chess match against Hikaru, say, "Oh, he knows tactics better than I do."
I'm not going to play this type of chess.
Exactly, but Lev says, "I'm a great
Levon's
tactician."
a coffeehouse tactician himself, as he said. You know, he's always looking for a swindle, right? Like a
Yep.
squirrel, looking for a swindle.
No chickens here.
No chickens.
No chicken moves.
Although no, he may play chicken moves later, but so far no. Levon is not bringing the chicken move, but if he does, we will call him out for it.
Oh, look at this
Okay,
g5
here
check
comes
immediately.
G5. It's happening. It's on the board. Here we
Whoa.
go.
Wow, I mean, we don't have an engine, but that evaluation bar keeps going up and down. It's making me a little nauseous there.
Yeah, a little seasick.
Yeah.
Thank God
Look at
I took
Hikaru's
my
face.
ginger pills.
Look at Hikaru's face. He's like, so frustrated. Okay,
He
take
doesn't
that.
want to do this, but he's gonna have to. You have to hold on for
Look at
one
him,
more
he's like-
day.
Yeah.
This is gonna be so scary for Hikaru.
His face is just like,
Ooh, dark Hikaru.
if you take g5,
Welcome
king
to the
g5.
dark side. The dark side, Anakin.
Wait, how is this king escaping? Okay, so bishop g5
Yeah.
takes rook g1 check, right? A very direct sequence.
I think we're just mating, aren't we?
King h6.
You can't
queen
do
e3
this
check.
because of this.
Yep. I like, oh, king of queen e3 is a bishop on a7.
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta
That was my whole idea.
have your Wheaties, but okay. I think the attack is still very very strong, even just like a rook lift.
There it is, rook g3.
Yeah, I
played
like
instantly.
this move.
Oh my, that was a huge
I
blunder.
feel like me and Levon are synchronicitous today.
Synchronized?
Telekinesis, Holmes. It's real.
Synchronicity? I
Yeah,
like
I
that
don't know.
word.
It's a word. Look it up.
Okay, so what is the idea now?
Here comes rook g3. The rook's gonna swing over.
But the knight's coming to g6. Maybe rook g1, knight g6, queen f5. Let's put pressure
Rook
on
g1,
that
knight
g6.
g6, queen f5. I love it. In fact, let's show it because one of the threats behind queen f5 is rook takes g6 and mate right there.
That is the threat.
That is the threat. So rook comes to g1, queen f5. Hikaru gonna
Oh,
run,
What?
but can he survive?
Where's this
Look
king
at the
going?
confidence.
So rook g6. I mean, that's
Okay,
Queen
Levon's
takes.
all in. He's got to prove it. He's down 2 minor pieces.
so queen takes g6, king here.
He's got queen g7 and rook g6.
I like queen
Ooh,
h6.
queen h6, also nice.
Rook g7.
And there's threats. And Hikaru knows he blew it.
Although
The threat is queen h8.
queen e7. Yep, as I was about to say.
The queen sack returns.
Levon
And Levon takes a deep breath in frustration. He knows Hikaru's not going
Although-
to get mated just yet.
Although what you can do for Levon is go rook takes e7, queen g7 check, and
Yeah.
they just start stealing all the queenside pawns.
Rook takes e7, king d7, queen g7, king up,
And
chopalicious.
Bishop f2. Oh, it's getting
And
really
It's crazy.
double-edged.
And even though the black has a lot of pieces, the queen getting pawns and the king being open, typically very dangerous.
But after queen b7, let's say, then rook g8, like
Right.
both kings are
Do I get
in
mated?
danger.
I might.
Yeah, you got to move that h pawn. But
Yeah,
things
these
are looking,
are the kind of things Levon has to calculate. Now he will have the queen this time when they're in the time scramble, unlike the previous game.
So can he just somehow sit on the position for a little bit? I guess he doesn't have enough time. But I was thinking like queen g6 check, because you can't go king d7. Queen g6 check, king d7 would be a huge blunder because queen takes f6 first, right? That would be a big problem for black.
Yep.
The b4 play. Look at it, just playing calm chess.
Sitting tight because the queen's not going anywhere. Okay, but Hikaru's going to go get a pawn. Levon kind of nods his head in understanded agreement. Whoa.
So now bishop e3 a move? Oh no, queen g6 check still, I guess.
Okay, but I like Levon's idea because he's saying when I do get your queen, now my king's not going to be in a mating net.
Right.
That's what he's doing.
He's going for c7 now.
And the king will run out. We'll no longer see rook g8 with mating ideas on g1.
But e4 is hanging right now. Okay, he doesn't take it.
Here it comes. g8, king runs to f1.
Interesting to go to f1 to f3. I guess he just didn't want to get the king.
No point in walking closer to the knight, I guess. I like the move c5. Gotta play king e2. Time pressure is real here, though.
Okay, so what do? You just take
Or b5.
queen a6 check first? I mean, so many options.
I like that. I like that even better, and so does Levon. Now you can give another check or take, because if bishop takes, wait.
But black is definitely better here.
I thought maybe he could have played queen a7 and then pushed, but...
Because black has 2 minor pieces and a rook for a queen and a pawn. That pawn is great. The
wow,
A-pawn.
that's a risky move there, queen d5. I would have looked to push a6.
Yeah,
now your king's getting in a mating net.
This is
Knight
not looking
c5
great.
check. I feel like Hikaru is going to spot a mating net here and teach us what it's all about.
Rook c5?
c5, also rook c1.
Yeah. Knight f6 was not expecting that.
King e6. I love how well the knight protects the king from checks by the queen. Just guarding every square, making it so tricky for the queen. Bishop c5 just wins the queen.
No, but you just take it, and then the a-pawn runs.
You take it. You can't stop the a-pawn, or can you? You get the knight to d6.
What?
But
you're not stopping the a-pawn time there.
you take with check, king moves, and then you had knight d6.
And
if
you go
it-
a7.
and then knight c8.
a8 equals queen.
It's check. The king's on b6.
Why did I put my king on b6?
Oh, I didn't know what line you were going for. I was calculating the line.
Gotcha. I was. I shouldn't be doing that in my head, but I was just very confused.
we just went way down the rabbit hole there. Is
Oh,
Levon gonna escape with a perpetual? He's gonna try. He's gonna escape. A7. He's laughing in the face of mate.
Wait, is king getting mated?
It
oh
is
my
mate.
gosh!
Oh,
That's heartbreaking.
that was owies.
That-
Owies. That was sick. A mate.
Hikaru is feeling very relieved there because his king was in some big trouble.
What a
earlier.
turnaround, by the
Yeah.
way. If you're just joining us now, that may end up being the game of the match right
Yeah.
there. It's hard to imagine the chess is going to get any better.
I feel like
than
we're going
that.
to keep saying that.
But
because
it's awesome because we
yeah.
have two really, really exciting players. Levon just went for a brilliant mating attack. Hikaru somehow defends his way out of that and goes on to actually prove the queen sacrifice is more than enough to win in the endgame. Amazing.
I
Wow.
promise you this will not be the game of the match.
This game will not. This is looking like Levon wants to take his foot off the gas a little bit and get something a little more symmetrical. There you have our two players there, everyone, and the path they took to get here. Arguably the two most dominant players in the 2018 Speed Chess Championship. Is it even an argument? I don't think so. I think they've been the two most dominant. The reason they're here in the semifinals with amazing performances against the players they beat to get here. So if you're just joining us, thanks for being here. Don't go anywhere. We got a few hours of exciting chess ahead.
And to drop some chess knowledge here, this reminds me, and it might be the same as So Caruana Sinkfield Cup 2016, when So was half a point
Man,
ahead of the
that
field.
game was so Caruana. It was so Caruana.
Yeah, this looks very familiar to me. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's where it's stemming from. But slightly better for white, no real risk. But black should be holding with best play. And Levon clearly knowing this line very well, playing very quickly. Hikaru doesn't seem so thrilled at his position with the white pieces.
Yeah, it's headed for a draw, perhaps. Simplification killed the Hikaru winning chances.
Yep. Hikaru's just so funny.
You just gotta love it. I mean, Hikaru's channel at Twitch. By the way, you can go to twitch.tv/GMHikaru and give him a follow. But I feel like his channel doesn't need to be anything but his numerous facial expressions.
Yeah.
You know, and you could just call him Hikaru number 1, Hikaru number 7, Hikaru number 11.
This is draw number 3. And this is what I'm estimating in this game because, okay, white is pushing a little bit quicker than black is, but after this bishop trade, it looks dead equal.
One thing Hikaru can do from match strategy, and we're going to ask him about this afterwards, but I get this feeling he's going to settle in here and play this one out, taking some time off the total game clock. Because, again, Hikaru knows that as the time controls speed up, he just becomes even more of a monster, right? And so, yes, this is a game that should be a draw, but if this takes another 10 minutes off that total game clock you see there between the players, just gets him even closer to 3-minute chess.
I have to
I know.
appreciate just how
You can
emotive
keep
it
laughing
is.
all day. I love it.
Yeah. And I'm not laughing at anything you said because I agree with you, but his facial expressions are
Yep.
so priceless.
Yep.
And he questioned Levon's decision to take on e6 and do this with the queen because he was starting queen d8 checkmate and the pawn a7. But Levon laughs at this idea and says, take on
plays
a7.
A6.
Yeah, he's going to go queen d3 check back.
Then he'll deal with the pawn over here. Probably g6 we see here. Oh, okay, I was wrong. So Hikaru not interested in milking the game clock, the total match clock. Accepts the opportunity for a quick draw. There we have another fan getting involved here in the daily question. Maybe you could have a Young Stars qualifier tournament. Whoa!
What a great
Now
idea.
that's the idea.
That's a great idea.
Somebody get Michael on the phone, our Twitch chess program. We need to let's make a note of that so I don't forget it, seriously, because I think we've already been talking about improving and adding some dynamic and some more prizes to more qualifier events next year. And I think that's a great theme for one specific qualifier all about the world's top juniors. So thank you for that.
Wow, that's a brilliant idea.
Great idea. And we had qualifiers this year.
Yep.
We had an open qualifier. Then we did have a qualifier where we invited four very well-known strong grandmasters. But
I love that idea.
But that would be a great angle to let the juniors tell us who deserves to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Exciting.
And surprised no one mentioned the Russian player Artemiev, one of the best blitz
one of
players
the
in
also
the world.
big up-and-comers. Yep.
21 years old maximum, so I guess he's technically not a junior, but still.
But he can
great
get
player.
an invite.
Yeah, Jeffrey Zhang.
I'll be the Oprah of invites. Everyone gets an invite. Yep.
Okay, so we have a similar looking position as we had earlier, except the difference is White has not sacrificed the piece on g5.
Right.
Or actually, it wasn't really on the g5 square. It was the f3 square. But still, point being, there's no piece sacrifice here.
Yep.
Not yet. White is very solid in the center. Black claiming that the spatial grab on the king side is actually good for him. That's Hikaru. The knight can come to f4 at any moment. The f5 square looks weak, but it's hard to actually get to because the bishop on e6 will sit there. And if you take on e6, I'll take with the pawn.
I love that. Love that taken with the pawn. Just visualize that right there. Open F file guarding the critical squares. It's a trade you don't want to make.
And so c6. So I can't go d4. I don't have enough pieces defending that square.
Okay. Queen f3. You're still going to try to eye that f5 square as long as you can. But this is a very typical approach for black in this kind of structure. For those of you who are thinking, wait, I'm not supposed to open up my own king. Because black can quickly get so many minor pieces to this side of the board, it's not only something that works out because the king has plenty of protection, but also gets really aggressive at times because knights work out so well behind pawns, right? So this is a typical approach for black against this kind of Italian structure. And we've now seen it twice, even though the last time we saw it was a piece sack. So I'm liking the approach from Hikaru, and again, up about a minute on the clock.
And he's got great flexibility in his position. You go d5 right now if he wants. He can play h5. h5 looks very tempting to me. As you mentioned, black can start an attack on the king side. h5 threatens to win a piece immediately with h4.
Yep.
And how do you challenge that? Okay, he plays b5. I'm not sure I love that because opening the a file, that rook on a1 wasn't doing anything. And sure,
Hikaru loves it.
the rook on a8 wasn't doing much either, but I think this gives white a little bit of counterplay.
That's a rare one. That's Hikaru number 23, the duck lips.
The duck lips. Oh my god.
Shout out to gold member there. What's his name? Steffi94 says, looks like Aronian wasn't doing great without her support, I think. But now I'm here. Go Levon. Him or her. But so I will let Levon know that you're here and he has permission to start winning.
Yeah, he needs to start winning because, again, heading toward the bullet section, that's where I'm most concerned about him.
Yep.
Can't be facing any sort of deficit. You need a couple game lead.
Hikaru's looking like he, I don't know, like call Phil Jackson up, get some peyote, turn on some ABBA, and have a ball. That's where we're headed with this these dance moves.
You just continue to surprise me with
I
the most
just don't even know what to
ridiculous
say
things.
about his, his performance.
Ah, okay.
All right,
F3
F3
makes sense.
That is a nice move, yeah.
Finally freeing up that bishop.
Yep. Oh, and Hikaru says, well, I'm going to let you trade it before you go anywhere.
D3 is hanging now, so you can't just play bishop F2 like you'd like to. And you don't really want to go knight D to F1, but if it defends the D3 square, and then you can reroute your bishop to F2 and then play knight to G3,
I like that.
that is something worth consideration.
Yeah, especially because two knights here will mean you can actually put a knight on F5 and keep it there. And that's a square that Robert's been eyeing for some time.
But I like the way black is progressing on that side of the board as well, because we talk about H5, H4. For black, certainly still an idea.
Yeah. Interesting. That's not the way I would have protected the D pawn, especially with H5 and H4 coming, but Levon maybe has more plans on the queen side than I'm
Wait, did
realizing.
you just hang a pawn? D3's hanging, right?
Yeah,
Bishop
you take
A2?
twice and then win D3.
Ah, but F5 square, so he's giving up.
Yeah, he's making a sacrifice. Hikaru also kind of skeptical. Says, all right. D pawn for F5 square.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'd go for that if I'm Hikaru.
Shout out to that
Look
sub.
at that
Appreciate
move.
your support.
Rook A7.
Yep.
Saying, you're going to take me on E6 whether you like it or not, because I'm about to swing on
I'm
rook.
about to get things going over here on the A file. You're not gonna have a choice.
Taking on E6. Yep, there goes that pawn to E6. And now the semi-open F file certainly favors black. Your knight on E3, while it's on a good central-looking square, not going anywhere with the F5 square and the D5 square firmly under black's control. A very good transition for Hikaru. He's playing extremely well right now. Very impressive chess from him.
Yeah.
And, we shouldn't be
Honestly, he's. I mean, the 2 games that Levon was the one bringing the pressure. Not only did he swindle out of it, he won one of them. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing stuff right now from Hikaru, showing why he is the best in the business in this setting. I mean, look at this. He just wins by resignation. Levon just hung the pawn straight up and tired of that game. Throws in the
He's
towel.
going to lose a second pawn, so he just
Wow.
gave up. Ooh. I was really looking forward to today because I
Yep.
thought it'd be a pretty level match, at least before the bullet section.
Yep.
I can't lie. The bullet part of the match really just...
Well, there's no reason why you wouldn't favor Hikaru in the
Right.
bullet part of the match based on what we know about these guys. But right now, Hikaru is bringing way more than just bullet prowess to this match. Amazing stuff.
3-game lead for Hikaru.
Yeah.
Is it too early to say it's an insurmountable lead?
Oh, it's way too early.
Yeah?
And I think Levon is a streaky player, so I think if and when he starts getting his mojo going, don't be surprised if he's able to rattle off a few in a row.
I agree. I was just testing you. You
yeah.
passed.
Yeah.
Stealing
Yeah.
one from
Oh,
your
thank
book.
you. Thank you. There you go. Got an F+. Yep. Shout out to everybody that's with us, no matter where you're watching. We love you. We appreciate you. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're looking forward to the holidays.
Yeah.
Robert's looking forward to a break from me after the World Championship and the Speed Chess Championship. I mean, this time I'm going to hurt my own feelings. Now I have intimacy issues. I'm going to push you away before you can reject me.
Wow. Truth.
Yeah.
At last. Okay, so different approach this time. Last time I
But
took
the
with
same
rook
structure,
on
and
E5.
Levon's going to put the bishop on E6.
Yeah.
And we had a quick draw there. Unfortunately for Lev, he has to do more than find peaceful results in order to get back in this thing.
Yeah, and the sole difference thus far is that there's a pair of rooks still on the board. So
Yep.
last time all the rooks got traded. Now at least White has control over this D file. Bishop E6. If you take with the queen, I'll maybe make a move like pawn B3, and just keep the D file going. That's really where White's advantage is.
Yep. It's all
and
about
that's
the
what
D
Hikaru's gonna
file.
do.
I would keep the rooks on the board, A6 or B3. Okay, A3 or B3, I meant, sorry. He plays A3.
Okay, A3 makes sense. You keep the queen on C3 defended just in case something happens where some kind of trade is offered, and you don't have to worry about your A2 pawn because the B2 pawn is clearly defended right now, and so playing B3 maybe loosened up some of the squares over there on the queen side. So I think it's a good choice all in all. Hikaru is just jamming.
Loving it.
So he's going to go rook D6, and Levon's going to say, I don't care too much.
Yep.
Because I'll play queen F5 and threaten back rank.
The long-term edge here belongs to Levon if he could somehow not let the D file lead to access to the 7th rank. Maybe if he can even get his own rook active. It's hard to see how he does that right now, which is why we like white now, if this rook can somehow find a file of his own. But the 3-on-2 should be a majority that black can be able to use if he can get the pawns going. Problem is this e-pawn is so far advanced, you also have to watch out for shots like e6 opening up the black king.
Definitely. That's actually a good idea to keep in your back pocket.
Yep.
So rook D6 now makes perfect sense.
Yeah, there's this check, though. Got to watch out for b2.
Yeah, that is true. Starts with F4.
F4. Now he can play king h2 and then go back to your idea. Right. He also, you know what he's thinking about?
G4, yeah.
I was just about to do it. Where's my emote? G4, G4. Everyone's favorite.
Also, I was just given the information that Levon has never trailed after the 5-minute plus 1 second increment segment. He's been tied against Grishuk once. That was last year, and he was leading in the other 3 matches he took part in. So if this segment ends with the car still in the lead.
Grishuk was 2 years ago, right?
Sorry, 2 years
Then he
ago.
also played Nepomniachtchi in 2017, right?
Okay.
And then this year he's young.
So he's never been
Never been down in the
Never
5-minute
been
portion.
down. Look at that
is
move.
some
G5.
fun fact.
Classy move by Lev.
Yep.
Undermining the pawn
A little
structure.
little frustrating for Hikaru there, you can see.
Was that a yawn or
That
a
was a
sigh?
deep breath. Back to the duck lips? Is that number... Oh, no, he faked us out. No Hikaru number 23. Watch out for those duck lips. They may come back.
Just so funny. Okay, so let's...
Rook d6. H6 is falling. C6 is falling.
Wait, but if I...
Yeah, it's a trade. 2 pawns for 2 pawns.
Then rook e2.
Yeah, you
just get
gotta
very
love this
active.
move. Second rank and F pawn. Yeah, if the F pawn stays on the board, Freddy's gonna become Francis over here.
Yeah, and black's king just start running up the board. Nice little reference there.
Take z5, I think, should be played.
Yeah, rook takes e5, rook
Yep, he
c6,
does it.
rook e2. And we're expecting very concrete line here.
Yeah, this looks good for Lev. And we called it.
Yep.
Nice.
So will Hikaru play rook f6 here to take this f pawn off the board? Okay, he's going for the a pawn. And I'm mildly concerned about
Yeah,
what you were saying before.
But I like this move, right? Keep the b pawn as a target. Now you can trade and play rook b2. I mean, okay, it should be a draw. Probably best play here.
Which is a 2-on-2 with on opposite side of the board. So rook c4.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know if I like that move because now rook e4.
Yeah, and you have to trade h for f likely because you don't want to play f3 and king f2. Oh, that's interesting though. Actually, just winning both.
Yeah, Hikaru's laughing because he just...
Yeah, he just missed
Forgot
that move. He's like, duh. That's pretty funny.
And it should still be a draw despite
Yeah.
the extra pawn because on the other side of the board, white actually has an extra pass pawn, right? The
Yep.
h pawn is essentially an extra one,
Yep.
as that double f pawns are not going anywhere.
Diamond member Lone Wolf in the Chess TV chat says, Alexa, what's Hikaru listening to? I like it.
So let's see. Can black even try to go for a win somehow? He needs to push his a pawn down the board. So actually, the
But
winning plan would be if that rook was on a1 and pawn was on a2, it'd be a win by
Then you could
force.
use the f pawn as a way to get the king out of there.
Yep.
So, I mean, if it gets close, maybe we'll highlight that idea because that's an instructive one for the members. Shout out to Grandmaster Yermolinsky here, hanging out in the Chess TV chat.
Yermo.
Well, Yermo.
So how does black... And black, I don't see any progress.
Yeah, you can sit tight. Yeah, I was going to say, get the king in, maybe try to put white in some sort of time pressure scenario. Because you're not even in a position I don't think white can take here in any endgame.
No.
Any universe, the king will always be too far to catch the a-pawn. Wow, but they just agree to a draw by mutual agreement.
D4. I was going to say I was wondering when Lev would switch to D4
Yeah.
because he's been playing E4 a lot as of late, but for many years he was just pretty strictly a D4 player, and C4 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, a London setup. What do you think about that?
Okay, we saw Lev use this effectively in previous speed chess matches, right? I remember his matchup with Nepo had a lot of London.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago, but we had the call on that. Not 2 years ago, I guess about a year ago. But
Aren't we sick of London after that World Championship?
exactly, right? But here the opening representing the city. And the thing about the London we will say is that it's usually a setup that white can play with a lot of flexibility. You can develop the pieces for an attack. You can also look to play on the queen side. And Hikaru taking kind of a unique approach here with the knight on h5. But we've seen this happen in lines where black can be ultra aggressive early on before white completes development here.
Yeah, black actually often wants to go F5 because the bishop on E3 allows
Yeah.
F5, F4 to come in.
F5, F4, you also have this e4 square to watch out for. I like it.
I think Geary was playing this in his match as well, but maybe I'm mistaken. And also, I was just informed that Hikaru has led 7 times after the 5-minute segment, and he's won all 7 of those matches.
So something's going to have to give today, right? We've had Levon Aronian never trailing after the 5-minute portion, but Hikaru wins a lot of 5-minute portions.
Yeah, he's won 7, and the 2 matches where he's been down in the 5-minute segment.
Magnus Carlsen,
Yep.
right? The infamous matchup.
I don't know if anybody knows who that guy is.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind
yeah,
of good.
The world champion, of course, celebrated a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Magnus. Now 28 years of age.
You know what his
I don't
birthday
know why I say years of age.
You know what his birthday present is?
What?
To watch the Speed Chess Championship
Of course
match.
he is.
We
Shout
gave
out.
him chess to watch. Free chess to watch.
That's right.
All right, so black's position is exactly how you described it. Strong center. So
Yep.
white has 2 pawn islands, black has 3.
I love when you talk about pawn islands.
Sometimes, you want to get away.
Yep.
Transparency. Okay, it's not a Southwest commercial. But Oh, bishop
Wow.
c5. I don't know about that.
That was pretty good, though. Southwest could be a sponsor of the. This is right up their alley. Speedy.
Well, I think Levon might start wanting to get away from this match because
Yeah, this is vintage Hikaru right now. Playing faster, playing better.
weak squares, and the light squares on the king side are vulnerable. Black's pieces, despite this knight being on g7, an awkward spot, it's going to e6 very quickly.
And that bishop's going to have to make a decision. If you take on e7, black will just take back with the knight. Obviously, we wouldn't take with the queen and hang the d5 pawn.
Right.
I like it. Knight g2, here comes knight e6.
So we love the fianchetto knights today.
Yeah.
Knight on g7, knight on g2. Keeping that rook stuck, because now that the rook can't move, the knight can't move from g2.
Oh, man, it hurts. Hurts to be this stuck. But bishop g4. There you go. That's a nice move.
I would take the knight.
Take the knight instead of the bishop. And then what? Use your other knights to get in?
Yeah, maybe play h5 as well. Just start
Okay.
making a little bit of progress on the king side.
I
Of
like
course, I'm in danger of overextending the king side of the board, but I think
Yep.
that if I take on g4, I'm making white's life a little bit easier than I really like to, because after bishop g4, queen g4, then my knight can now go to e3.
Yeah, and this d5 pawn's weak.
Yeah,
A lot of
put
positions.
a rook on d1, just play sort of straightforward chess in that
Yep.
sense. But I think black is still better in that line. Just I think bishop g2 gives more winning chances. So let's
Yeah,
see.
absolutely.
He's thinking. Took on g4. Okay, so this is... I always think when there are some weak light squares, d3, c4, f3,
Yeah.
that a knight needs to get to the e5 square. But at the same time, I made this pawn d5 a permanent weakness.
Yeah, but if you could just put this knight here, I mean, yeah, you got access to everywhere you want to be, right?
Yep.
F3 and D3.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
don't love what Hikaru did.
yeah, black's knights are not ideal, so Hikaru's approach maybe got a little bit overextended because white's idea is very straightforward. The d pawn's a target.
Yep. Now knight f4, I guess. Do first, stopping e3.
Yeah, he wants to stop a counterplay. That's a nice move. Hikaru giving us a bit of a scowl there. Not sure where he wants this one to go.
And
Also,
sorry,
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Should we just double jinx? each
Go
other?
ahead. No, you go ahead.
The knight on e7 and knight on f5 are stepping on each other's toes, right? They
Yep.
both want to be in the f5 square or making
Yep.
progress, but the knight on e7 stuck the defense.
They
of
both
the
really
d5
want to
pawn.
be on F3 or D3 too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Just,
But this knight, kind of a key defender right now, and that's difficult. In fact, here comes, I like this move, knight d4. If you simplify the position, eliminate any chance that black gets counterplay on these squares, this d-pawn's going to be a target, right?
yep. And
Long
that's
term.
the big problem. If knight takes d4 here, rook takes d4, you can't follow it up with knight c6 or knight f5
Yep.
because the d5 pawn falls. In fact, this a5 move is one you'd like to move back, right? We talk
Yeah.
about this a lot. Now,
Okay, he wants the idea of getting a4 and keep a b2 pawn under his sights, so that's why he did it, but I agree with you that Hikaru's position feels a little bit superficial, artificial, being held together right now, and
and now I think he's in big trouble. Knight e3.
93, yeah. Do it. Oh, man. I also got some dark squares over here calling my name. Come to dinner.
Actually, the first one that came to my mind, besides rook d4 is a good one, I was
Yeah,
trying to
that's a
go
good
and
one.
make f4 work.
Oh, that would have been nice, too. Speaking of the dark squares, you would have loved to open it up and get an
But,
attack, but
yeah,
if
the
you
problem
just,
is your knight on
yeah, you don't
e3.
want this.
I would love to take with my queen and just go for a checkmate,
Yeah.
but of course, things are hanging.
But
the
keep
rook
an
on
idea,
e4,
keep an eye on that, right? F4, knight g4. Don't forget that Hikaru doesn't have a lot of pieces around his king here.
and so things have really taken a bad turn for Hikaru in this game. It looked very nice for him earlier on, and I think bishop takes g4 was the mistake, taking the bishop instead
Yeah.
of the knight.
No, you called it. Bishop taking the knight would have been better.
So rook. Okay, so the question is queen b5 or something like that a good move? Maybe queen g4, offering the queen exchange.
Ah, that's a strange move to trade off the target on d5.
But the e4 pawn might fall, right? So if
yeah,
dc4, knight c4.
trading one weakness for another, right? Takes, and if the rook has to move, instant tactics.
Always a problem with the short pawn chain. Is that once you hit the base pawn, which is pretty easy, second pawn that it's attached to.
Yeah, I think he's also looking at rook d6 now,
I would-
right?
Yep. Rook d6 looks tempting. Let's see what else can. Is there another?
We've
Knight
got-
c4 and rook d6 are, of course, the moves that
They
come to
both
mind.
look good.
Even
White's
rook takes
choosing
c4.
between flavors at this point. Hikaru's going to have to sack the exchange.
Think so?
I think he might try to do something
What about
where
rook
he gets an
d5?
attack.
Yeah, rook
but here
d5.
comes rook takes e4.
No, then your d1 is hanging.
It's overwhelmed. Yeah. All right.
But it still is feeling very questionable. Right? Because, excuse me,
Yeah,
for
because
black.
the
the
e-pawn
e4
is still not going anywhere.
right.
Still weak. You could trade and take a5 too. I mean,
You could take a5 right now, actually.
Yeah, and then if knight takes, we're back to our battery. I like it. That's a nice little tactic. Maybe Levon is calculating how he wants to win a pawn here. Hikaru's going to be relying on some sort of long-term counterplay against the king side here, because he's going to lose a pawn. Faux show.
A show. Yeah, I think.
Faux show. Ooh,
Eight.
patience.
It's a virtue that we apparently don't have.
That don't have, apparently. Here we go. The,
Levon doesn't like the move he made either. He's shaking his head.
yeah.
But why is he shaking his? Because.
Maybe he just feels like he missed something or had something better.
But now just rook.
I mean, we didn't see any concrete reason why the pawn couldn't have been gobbled. So now Levon may have missed his chance.
Well, rook e1. I don't know how you're protecting this pawn. Rook d4, knight d2. Actually, rook d4, maybe knight takes a5 is also possible, but I think. Because you're not protecting this e pawn.
Wow.
Gobble. Take it.
Practical shot there.
Or knight f3.
Yeah, both good.
Well, maybe knight f3 is rook e4, which is a bit. But
At the end of the line, we've also got takes with check and then rook e4.
yes, that is true. So
Okay, so he just gobbles the pawn. I think it's an interesting practical sack, though, by Hikaru.
Yeah, it's a clean extra pawn for white, but the problem is it's a weak pawn, right? So it's totally an extra pawn, but it's on the e file. It's isolated, hard to push, and a queenless ending.
Yep.
Here goes
Okay,
queens.
That's a good thing to do, I think, when your king is going to be potentially weak every time you push the e-pawn, right? So he's getting the ladies off, so at least he can push without worrying about his king becoming more open. So, is it enough to win? Probably not with best play, right? I mean, probably black is going to be able to hold this.
And the time situation.
And the time situation, again, greatly favoring Hikaru.
Lev needs this one. He needs to just play quickly, play rook e2, try to protect your second rank, then try to regroup your pieces.
Yeah, and you want to find a way to set up a position he goes for where you can kind of safely push in these scenarios.
Yep.
Right, without worrying about counter tactics. Speaking of which, Hikaru not going to make that easy. Kicking the knight back to d2 and bringing in his own counterplay. Knight may come into c4 or d3.
But look at that knight trying to go into d4 itself.
Yeah, I like that. Make b5 a problem. If a4, knight d4 would be a mistake for black.
Can't go knight d4 here because knight takes c3 check.
With check.
Now,
King of 3 first.
d5 check?
There's also rook to b1.
b1? The rook b1, knight b4, I guess.
Rook b1, knight d4, right? Trading b2 for b5, but it's dangerous, right?
Right.
And you've got all kinds of things to worry about here. Discoveries and tactics on the king.
You know, it's funny. We've been talking about white's king. Black's king is not so safe either. So sometimes if you can get your rook active, it's
quickly.
worth giving up a pawn.
Yeah, that's a good point. Quickly flip the script. But Levon is only going to have 20 seconds here. Again, Hikaru up on time as we near the critical moment, which is one of the worst parts here for Levon, despite being up a pawn.
Hikaru missed knight d4? Look, he's like shocked right now.
No, but knight takes b2 and then knight d3 or knight c4.
Okay, but now, how do I make this work? a4?
And Levon doesn't have a lot of time.
a4. Just do it. Rook b4, knight c3.
Knight c3 quickly. Get the rook to c2. Then get back to things with the e-pawn.
Yeah, and after rook b3, there's even knight d5, making sure that that rook's not coming.
Wow.
Back to b4. Yeah, okay.
Well defended right now by Hikaru, though.
Now Hikaru's probably even better.
Yeah.
But he's going to go rook b2. And there's so I was talking about the king.
Yeah,
the black king can become in danger.
Looking for a way to bring the rook to b7, and then the knight comes to f6. So Hikaru not interested in that. Going to try to run up. Knight f4, h7's going to fall. So this is going to be a race down the finish. But here comes, yeah, exactly.
He keeps flipping
knight
on
g4 is coming. Oh my gosh. g5 threatened g4, but lucky Levon has g4 before Hikaru does it. The white king just feels so scary over here. The knight comes to f3, guards g5, and threatens
but
rook
knight
h2.
f3 is just king g3, right? I just move my
king g3
over.
slides over, and now there's threats of knight c5.
Rook e7 here?
Rook e7. Levon doesn't have any time, though.
But he also is about to have two passed pawns on the king side, it looks like.
Yeah, Hikaru goes knight takes
one.
h2 to avoid that. But the g-pawn is definitely
yeah, he's going to sack the knight
dangerous.
from the g-pawn.
Yeah, that's what Levon doesn't want to happen, but we may end up just getting a peaceful result, despite how crazy exciting that was there.
Yeah.
That was a lot of back and forth. Hard to calculate everything with no time on the clock, but okay. Right now Hikaru every time he's under pressure, he seems to just be finding just enough accurate moves to hold off Levon.
Yep.
And sometimes win the game. So
And he keeps going back to this opening, which I'm not particularly fond. Okay,
Yeah.
now he plays d4 instead of this nice
it's
e3.
not the sharpest way for White to play for a win, but when you have a 3-game lead in the match too,
Yep.
at this point, hard to criticize it.
All right, but it'll get sharper in this particular game. And just, reminder everyone, we see that there's been a timer, and it's up there, 25 minutes left for the 5-minute plus 1 second
Yep.
increment section. Then there's 60 minutes of 3-minute plus 1 second increment. And finally, 30 minutes of the bullet, 1 minute plus 1 second increment. Should be fun.
Yeah, we got a lot of time ahead, so if you're just joining us, stick around for the rest of the day. Clear your schedule. And take note of Hikaru Nakamura's facial expressions, if nothing else. They'll be quite entertaining for you if you just got here.
The play has been absolutely phenomenal, but to me, there's expressions.
The entertainment of Hikaru has been even better.
And as soon as you said that, he just leaned in, put one finger to the lips, and trying to figure out what's going on in this position. I like Black's position, honestly.
Yeah, again, Hikaru hasn't really gotten anything of note out of the opening here as White, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this has been pretty easy for Levon to equalize and head to the endgame. But, again, I think the biggest issue is the match strategy already for Levon. If he wanted to have a lead in Blitz, he's got to make a move, right? Because we know what Hikaru Nakamura can do in Bullet.
And I like Levon's position here because the bishop on now a7 is much stronger than the bishop on c1. And if it ever goes to e3, you take on e3 and it's a backward pawn.
Yep.
And the bishop on f1 is not exactly a great piece either. Bishop c8 will just plant itself on f5 and play simple chess.
No, this is an easy position for Black to play. The only open e-file here, just equally challenged right now. Nobody getting anything. I think we'll see bishop f5. Yep, he plays it. And the question is there a way to remaneuver these pieces to try to get some play against the king here? I mean, knight e4 is coming, perhaps.
Yeah, actually, I was just saying knight e4 last move. There were some tactics in the air available.
Hikaru tries to stop the tactics on f2 with knight d4. Oh, man.
Okay, bishop g6, then just bishop e3. So it looks like White is getting
this is a really nice move because it makes bishop e3 possible now.
So I think bishop f5 was an incorrect move. Knight e4 immediately was probably
Wonder if he can
superior.
still go for things like this.
But let's go bishop e3.
Right, just ignore it. Knight takes f5 would be met by something nasty, but yeah. Bishop e3 would be the move, and probably just bishop g6, and nothing special.
Yeah, White is probably slightly better in these lines because your knight on d4 is particularly strong. But it's not, you're not. Ooh.
Look at that move. Rook a3. I love that. Super instructive, I think. Now you have the e3 square guarded again. The rook might come to e3 himself. You might come all the way over to g3.
So maybe I should go queen e5 and just challenge your entire setup.
Yeah, try to force you to put the bishop on e3 before it's too late. Yeah, that's surprising. Once d5,
yeah,
but that's super weakening to the queen side.
Yeah, I guess saying if you take on c6, I'll just take back with my pawn. Eventually I'll play for d5 myself. And to d5 here, I guess. Just trying to get the knight into the game. Knight f6 looks good, but it probably is stronger if it's in the d5. So bishop c5 also an option here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. d5.
Problem with d5 always look at the a6 pawn, right?
Yeah, I mean in every line after you played that move c6, which is why we kind of grimaced at it, right?
So
oh man,
is d4 possible somehow?
Yeah, d4 with the idea of getting a rook to d8 quickly. Ooh. That's funny. He's so surprised by that move. But the point Levon has in mind, I think, is to put the bishop on e4 and then, maybe try to get a battery going with the queen and bishop on the dark squares. But
I don't think Hikaru's
not a big fan of bishop b8. Either that or he smells something.
He's not.
The rook on a8 is just not happy. I think that's the biggest issue with, and Hikaru instantly played bishop b6 because of it.
Bishop e4, your move is a response. So you can't move your knight away. Knight d2 is met by queen to e5. Rook e3. But now, bishop f4, the problem is now your bishop's in front of the queen on any sort of battery.
And so there's no point in that whole battery you tried to start, right? No mate on h2 if the bishop leads the way. Okay, queen d7. Unpinning the bishop on f3.
I'd play bishop d4 here.
I like queen f5 now.
You just love attacks.
I love attacking. Queen f5. Okay, now there's maybe a threat of bishop f4 in the air at times with the d2 knight. Okay, so Hikaru trying to avoid that. I think the biggest issue, if Levon could just put this rook on e8 or something, his position would be fine.
Well, then you have to worry about the a6 pawn, right? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, so that's the issue, is he created his own prison over there.
so is pawn d5, cd5, cd5, bishop c4 coming? Here comes.
Bishop c4.
I like bishop c4 a lot. How are you going to protect d5? In fact, bishop c4, knight f6, I'd simply take on d5 anyway.
Yeah, because you're all about the back rank. Some about the base.
Oh, but the bishop
there's
h2
bishop
check.
h2 check.
We both saw it.
That would be nasty. It would not be a fun way to lose. All right, but knight c5 still is going to be a simple way for white to just be better in the endgame. You put the pawn on b4, a6 is a problem, d5 is a problem. White's better, right?
Risk-free chess.
Risk-free chess, my favorite kind of chess.
So-
Actually, no.
so
not.
queen d6
I
here-
enjoy the risk.
Queen d6 doesn't work here, for the record, because it threatens mate and the knight on c5, but after queen d6, g3,
Yep.
then knight takes c5 runs at a rook e8 check. You have big problems.
Big
on
problems.
The back rank.
Okay, well, Hikaru again in the driver's seat here. Bishop h2 check. Look at that. Bobbing his head and then diving in. All right, so he's like, all right, whatever. You're trying to trade the bishop. I'm not interested.
That was
That was hilarious. The point is, king takes h2 would have allowed queen to c7 check. But that's kind of like the puppy dog look, Hikaru, right there.
Yeah.
Somebody add some doggy ears. And there's emote material.
honestly it's just unbelievable the amount of faces he makes. He's just so versatile.
Yep.
He should be the next Zoolander.
Yeah, really. Blue steel.
Okay, so to Lev's credit, well, not his credit, his position is bad right now.
Yep.
But to his credit, I think he is good at this kind of setup from black, where he's worse, but he's able to hold because he's a very
Yeah.
tricky player.
But again, it's Blitz, so the fact that he only has a minute is the
I
problem.
didn't even look at the clock.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
no, this is
he's already so down on time. I mean, I would go for swindles. I want things like bishop e4 so I can mate on h3, but you can't do it because of rook takes
look at
e4.
this. If queen d4, queen takes d4, bishop d4, now then bishop d2 comes and you a5.
Ah,
So this is the kind of tactics that Lev finds very quickly,
right.
but not quick enough. Oh, he's so upset, Hikaru.
I don't know what that's about. He's laughing at
I think
himself.
he's thinking about bishop d3, queen e3, rook e8, and his back rank is a problem, but he
Yeah.
just moves his rook away.
I don't know what he calculated, but he's rolling his eyes, having a
is he-
good time.
It's hard for me to focus on the commentary when
I
he's
know.
making so many faces.
Well, this is why this format is so much fun. I mean, honestly, because this is just the kind of insight
oh,
to
instead
what
of
the
bishop
players
d3,
think that you don't get it over the
instead
board.
of bishop d3, queen f3, won the rook on a8 or the bishop on f.
Oh my gosh.
He's so
Just
upset
flat
with
out
himself.
missed it.
Yeah.
So let's show the tactic. Queen f3. Game over. Forky mode.
He just
Hilarious. But again, like just back to what I was saying, because the point is, like, we just don't get to see these kind of emotions in over-the-board chess.
no.
It's just so much fun to see how the players feel, even if one is stoic and one of them is Hikaru.
Queen
you know?
f5 here. Just play queen f5. Offer the exchange of queens. The d pawn, right? That's the
Yep.
compensation that you're trying to get. But yeah, good response.
But just going to be a really kind of easy position to push for two results here for Hikaru. You can play for g3 and f4. G3 also
Although,
opens up
if
the
you're-
king's avenue.
If you're too slow, my king might run into the center first, right? So g3.
Yeah, that's a nice point. The king gets to c4 and black is okay. So now if he backs up, yeah, here comes Lev with this idea. Maybe Hikaru will play g4 and f5 to slow that down.
Oh, that was actually a really good thought there, because of g4 f5, you really just stop the king from getting there.
Yep.
Although, will you lose your f5 pawn?
But the more you can trade things,
Bishop
probably
e5?
the better your drawing chances are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bishop e5, I'm saying.
Oh, bishop
Keep
e5.
d4 protected, and then
Yep.
I'm going to win your f5 pawn. So it's...
Yeah, so Lev is in trouble. Plus, he only has 3 seconds to 2 minutes, and that's a problem. He goes for this idea.
Whoa,
but
I don't like this. Bishop e5. Oh, rook d5's even better!
just simple and
Oh,
straightforward.
Hikaru definitely missed that, because now the problem is after king g2, rook takes f5, you can't take on d4 because rook d5 is a pin emote, as you would
Wow,
say.
I love it. Lev might swindle one right back here because at this point, despite only having 3 seconds, he's probably the only one who can win on the board. Okay, but again, time of the essence, obviously. Lev knows that.
Yep.
Should be a photo finish. Only 1.9 seconds here. Oh, why am I so nervous? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
Here
becoming...
comes d3. Here comes d3.
And the king just runs the c6. I mean, this is just safe for black.
Yeah.
And this is a big problem for Hikaru. Can't go king
King
d3.
can sit, play
sorry.
d3. If the rook goes to d2, you have bishop g5.
Can't go king e4, I meant, because rook e5 check comes, and you just
Right.
trade off the rooks.
Only black can win on the board, but Lev does not have the time he would like. D3. He's going to play. Oh, did he lose the pawn? He did.
Yeah, but he's going to put his king on b5 and try to win the b4 pawn.
Yeah, probably still going to have winning chances here. Very good winning chances. G6. Wants to play h5. Keep the. Oh, but now bishop d2 is possible.
Bishop d2. Here it comes. g5.
G5 first, and then you have G4, but he has no time. Oh, he didn't see it. G5 and G4. He only has 1.7 seconds.
Whoa, what's going on here?
Is Hikaru going to pre-move swindle him?
I think
it should be winning for black.
No, it should be a draw. Just bishop c1.
Yeah, but the king can get the
H4.
get the bishop out.
Yeah, but I have an h pawn.
Yeah, okay, not in time. Not in time.
Wow, that was.
Wow. That was fun.
Lev was upset with himself because he's like, I had a winning position there.
Yeah.
It's the clock.
Yeah, he didn't have the time, right? But this has been kind of a common storyline throughout the match, right?
Yeah.
So you could say, yeah, just frustrating. You don't have the time to win that particular endgame, but he's also been down on time when he's been losing, right? So that's what happens when you play Hikaru Nakamura.
Yeah, and Hikaru had actually a great position all game. He missed that tactic.
Yeah.
So he should have been the one winning that game, but shows how quickly things can turn around, especially when you make a mindless move. So.
All right, well, we're back to the Italian structure we've seen a few times. Hikaru has played the aggressive G5 approach and then relocated his knight around. I think we've seen that twice in games, whether Lev sacrificed a piece or not.
Yep.
But
look at that,
wow.
preemptive king h1, saying go G5 now, I dare you.
Oh, he does it! He says go G5 now, I dare you, and he plays it.
Wait, but what's going on here? Knight G5.
Knight G5, and then F4 comes. Hikaru was...
Oh, I see. Knight G5
Okay.
pawn takes. It's a very direct sequence. Knight
Yeah.
G5 pawn takes, bishop takes, king G7, F4, rook H8. This reminds me of that Vidic game from Isle of Man that we loved so much.
Yeah.
And then the problem is after pawn takes E5, there's some Knight G4 stuff happening.
Mm-hmm. And you might even get, let's just show the mate because it's fun for the kids at home.
Here it happens.
Love it. Okay, we're going to get it. And you got to really watch out. Like you said, the Vidic game from Isle of Man was actually game 1, the first game of the tournament. And I think I did a video with him, yeah,
you did.
On YouTube. You can check it out. Very exciting game for black.
So what if H3 here? Is that... And bishop takes H3 might even be a sacrifice? Ugh. I don't know who's better.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly black is turning the tables. And, again, we already just showed you what happens if you take E5. Mate problems.
F7's hanging?
You have this move, though, as well.
It's getting complicated. The king
Right?
G6.
Yeah, Lev is sitting up in his chair because it's time to think, right?
Yep.
A time to think.
But this is the problem for him: is he spends a lot of time, and yes, he may. If he wins the game, then it's he's validated his use of the clock
For sure, right?
But if not, then he's just in time trouble.
Ooh, D4 is an interesting one.
Whoa.
Blocking the bishop from all these mating ideas. A very principled move too, I think. Just try to go big in the center
but
right
how
now.
does this change anything? Let's say I take on D4.
I'm guessing E5 is coming.
Okay. I wanted to go. Can I still go Knight G4 there? So yeah, Knight G. To Knight G4. I don't know. This is too complicated.
But we do have some critical info available too that we're going to bring you at the end of this game. Stay on the edge of your seat for what Hikaru Nakamura is listening to. We have behind-the-scenes confirmation of
What do you
the
think it
music.
is?
Yeah, we should all be guessing. We saw Chess Bay's musical breakdown chart of what Hikaru listens to. We know he's also listened to The Offspring on previous Speed Chess Championship matches.
Yep.
Which, I don't know, that's a whole nother issue by itself. We'll get into that later. But okay, so we'll stay tuned. At the end of the game, we'll reveal what Hikaru's listening to in today's match.
Probably the most hype music these days. A little bit of Imagine Dragons.
Yeah? You like that?
Shawn Mendes. I think I'm going Shawn Mendes. I changed my mind.
No.
Yeah, he's definitely listening to Shawn
Have
Mendes.
mercy, please.
Yes.
No, he's not listening to Mendes. Got some ABBA votes.
He's listening to Shawn Mendes.
All right.
You're so upset about it.
I'm not a Mendes guy here. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, E5. I like that.
I don't believe in this though. Knight G4 still.
Yeah, but there's no mate immediately, I guess. I mean, okay, there's still serious problems for sure.
There it is.
Here it is.
Yeah, it's winning for black. Well, Hikaru saw H3, he just jolted back and was like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, but Knight E3, no, Knight E3, then Bishop takes Queen. Okay, that...
H3, the
But there's no
surprising
threat
move
by
heard
H3.
around the world always.
Right, you can't, because you're not taking a knight on g4. Your pawn's pinned.
Yep.
Maybe I just move my queen to g8 or something.
Yeah. You could also play f6. Right. Force the trade.
Such a risky looking move,
But the point is, if it came back to takes, the knight takes, you would have your bishop spying the h3 pawn again.
playing like a car, right? Queen g8. Knight e4 is a good move. Now you want to go knight f6.
Yeah, and you guard f2 in a lot of positions. This still feels super scary.
So
Winning
you should
for
play
black
quickly.
or not with best play, this is
Just play very quick. Now knight takes g2. Is that what he's gonna do? Knight g.
crazy.
You know what's funny?
That's
Even if I
crazy
lose my
talk.
queen, like knight takes g2, king g2, bishop h3 check. Well, I can go king g3 there. But I'm
But
thinking
even
if I,
this line would be like the queen stacks we've already seen a couple times,
yeah,
where suddenly white might be winning with the queen off the board.
very tricky stuff. And look at Hikaru. He's calculating. And it's funny because Hikaru loves these types of positions, right? He's
Yep.
always thinking about how to sacrifice, how to checkmate, this and that. So he's really trying to figure this out here. And knight f6 is an annoying threat. Bishop f6 check is an annoying threat. So I definitely see white's counterplay, despite the fact that black has to be close to winning. I don't know. Well, close to winning might be strong, but it just feels like you're up a piece.
Right.
You could take that bishop on c4 right away if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what he's calculating. Just take the money and run, right?
took
In
it.
fact, he does. Yeah, grab the bishop, and then even if check or knight f6, you're just trying to get the king to safety.
Well, how is the king getting to safety? Right, because queen's under attack. If you have queen f8,
Yep.
then I have queen g3.
G3.
And actually, I'm threatening a quick mate in 2.
Yep. Bishop h4 check and queen g5.
Yeah, or bishop h6 check. Same exact
Yep.
mate. So
Okay.
after knight f6, queen.
Yeah,
So
where's the queen going?
bishop takes h3 here. If you go
Hikaru leaning in.
If you go bishop takes h3, right?
Okay.
If you take my queen, I have bishop g4 discover check.
Right.
There it is.
And he does it.
And if you
Wow.
take my bishop on h3, now my queen go to c8.
And I've got a new square and a new target.
But the king on g7 still feels very
Still,
weak.
Yeah.
For example, bishop h6 check is just a throw a curveball here.
If you take,
Oh, I
now I
don't-
get to the g
No,
file.
but you have rook g6 to block.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. I was gonna go rook g1 check, but
Yep.
yeah, block it.
This is crazy. Crazy games we've had here. I mean, as a single game, I guess we have had these boring. Yeah, the games where Hikaru's been white have been less than fantastic as far as the excitement on the board. But these games where Lev has been white and this Italian have been nuts from the first game here.
Yep. They're definitely treating us to some spectacular
Yeah.
chess.
All right, king h2, like that. Just guard it. Maybe try to get your rooks over here to the g file.
Yeah, it's saying if pawn takes c3, he'll just go rook g1. Ignore everything, just go for me.
Yeah. Even more material.
Just sort of a crazy position that we.
There's also ideas where the queen can come to this diagonal. You got to
That's
be
true.
careful about.
Very true. Hikaru does not look pleased.
Crazy to believe black is up so much material, but the point is, the rook on a8 is out of play at this point. The
Imagine-
knights are pretty, but do they have enough?
What if I just go pawn takes e5? Is that possible?
Go rook g1.
And I go queen takes h3 check.
Whoa,
I'm just trying to trade off
the
queens.
counter queen sack.
And I go rook h8 check.
You're still up a piece at the end. No,
No.
now you're down the exchange.
But like, how many pawns do I have?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But it's still super unclear because it's not like black's king's out of the woods yet. Hikaru, did you see that? He's blue on his own hair. Where's Magneto? Not Magneto. Mugatu.
Mugatu.
Where's Mugatu when you need him?
He is so hot right now. On soul. So hot right now.
So somehow Hikaru's...
Hikaru is so hot right now.
Well,
On
he's
fire.
down under a minute.
Yeah, but he's up 3 games in the match.
92.
Oh, he wants to take f1 with check. Okay. Lev quickly.
Okay, whoa. There's
Expecting
got to be
this?
something here now.
Okay,
Bishop h6.
but you can even just take it. Oh no, you play queen g8 then knight d5, but king e6.
Yeah.
Where's the mate?
An f5 check? I mean,
This is just
I don't think
friggin'
it
nuts
works.
right here. The king runs and f5 and he gets out.
and queen f7. Are you...
And if you're just joining us, we had a game earlier in the match very similar to this where Lev was down a ton of material but just moments away from delivering mate. But he was not only unable to find the mate, but ultimately Hikaru came back and won that game as black. So if it happens again, that would be kind of the backbreaker of
Oh, what if I just go?
of Lev's life
What if
here.
I go bishop h4?
Simple.
No, that's
And if I
yeah, I
take,
still
you
don't
have
believe
the
in it.
same idea.
Not working. I'm trying to find the tactic, and it's
But
not
it does
working.
feel okay. Well, I was gonna say, what if you play f5 first? Now you're threatening check, queen g8, and knight here with mate. You're guarding the e6 square.
What about, yeah, knight e5. Now I protect.
Now you
f7.
guard f7, but knight d5.
Sacking his queen.
He's hacking his queen again. He's gonna sack
Too
his
many
queen
pieces.
on e7 and be just fine.
Yep.
Poor Lev. Wow, this is exactly like we saw in that other game.
Yep.
Hikaru sacks his queen and he's winning. Just amazing.
b6
Lev
here.
frustrated there. You can see him slightly shaking his head.
King d7 is even better because you keep the d4 pawn protected. Yeah, Lev is lost here.
God, there must have been something there. We back up before f5 here. Just feels like White had everything you could want, but we couldn't find the mate. I don't know, but it looks like the king was getting out.
Yeah, somehow.
It'd be crazy to analyze these games afterwards, and whoever's throwing together our post-game news report will not have a short list of exciting games to look at. It's just amazing. Hikaru is just completely crushing here, despite being down a queen.
Yep, that rook's swinging
Resourceful
over
defense.
that rook's swinging over the king side to go to h4. Just
Yep.
yes. You still got rook h4 here. Queen a is only one check.
Knight g4 also
This
does the
is-
trick. King moves, knight e3, more material coming. Probably,
Rook takes h3 check. Game over.
yeah,
King g1, knight f1 is
knight
check.
f1 with check, and it's just,
Wow.
wow. How impressive has Hikaru Nakamura been today?
Beast.
He's a beast.
Total monster.
Yep.
And 7-3, so +4 for Hikaru.
Apparently that puzzle rush is paying off, huh? He's seeing tactics even better than we're used to.
Yep.
And just walking right into the face of danger there is just amazing that he's just clearly saying, I'm not afraid of that mating attack, and Lev's gone for it a couple times and failed.
I just made Hikaru face number 16 because I don't know what's going on in this opening. It's an exchange Spanish
Yeah.
with the bishop e7 move.
Well, so we promised you we'd give you some information once the game was over, and we have it. I doubt he's listening to this song on repeat because, I mean, what human being would ever do that? But Chess Bay has confirmed Hikaru listening to Who Let the Dogs Out by Baha Men.
What is this, like 2000?
I mean, seriously, Hikaru's music selection at times is really funny. But I'm going to assume it's not on repeat because, how many times can you listen to that song before you have a tumor grow in your brain? Wow. Hilarious. So thank you for that information. We appreciate it. All right. Levon got some trickiness here. Queen coming to c5, puts a pin on the knight on e5, so you got to watch out for
C2
tactics. Also
pawn.
threatening moves like g6. Actually,
C2 pawn's under attack as well. So
yeah,
everything's-
actually Hikaru is sort of scowling, not super thrilled with his position here.
so what's-
Down on time.
what if
a,
you go-
a rare
I think
rare
bishop,
Nakamura sighting.
Bishop e3 might be a solid move. Saying if queen takes c2, yep,
Yeah,
there
he
it
goes
is.
for it. Queen takes c2. You can even just develop,
Yeah,
right?
knight d2.
Yeah, I was going to say knight c3 or knight d2.
Yeah. I cannot believe he's listening to Who Let the Dogs Out.
I know, it almost feels like fake news. I don't even, it's just so funny to
Like-
me. Especially if we find out it's on repeat. Just, wow. All right.
And just, do you think he's also listening like cheerleader?
Oh, that's another one, yeah. I don't know. We'll ask him afterwards, obviously.
I
Okay, the
cannot believe he's listening to.
knight comes
especially
to
because
f6.
I was told, and
Now black can maybe take b2, by the way, Robert, because it's a skewer on the two knights. Right? I mean, if you take it, you
so
can't
bishop
move the
d4
knight.
maybe responds, or rook c1.
Bishop d4, that would be interesting.
That might get you in trouble if there's c5 there, but rook f to c1 is always possible instead.
Yeah,
Just-
and plus the queen is kind of in trouble
yeah.
in a lot of positions, so. Okay, Lev has some things to prove here because he went pawn grabbing. The mom is out playing with the kids here.
Yeah, that queen is, might have gone too far.
Yep.
For her own good. Still can't get over Who Let the Dogs Out. Why?
What? You got to get over it,
Look
buddy.
at his expression.
Flashing that, that's a U.S. championship ring right there. Yeah, he's getting the Godfather pose there, flashing the U.S. Chess Championship ring. He's got a few of those. Only 45 seconds remaining here in the 5-minute portion, but if you're just joining us, don't go anywhere. We still have more chess left than we've already had happen. Again, this is the second semifinal matchup, as you can see right there. Yesterday's first semifinal sent Wesley So into the championship, which will take place tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific. So he was impressive, and right now Hikaru has been impressive against Levon.
Yeah, and Wesley So was rooting for Levon, and he wasn't rooting for him because of a friendship thing. It was more so that he thinks Hikaru Nakamura is such a heavy favorite in this format that he was rooting for Levon so he'd have an easier final matchup in his estimation. But right now, Hikaru putting on a clinic, and although right now I'm not sure I love his position, because black is up a pawn.
Yeah, and there's no clear way to trap the queen, even though we've been seeing some cheers for it. The people want it, but I don't know the people are going to get it.
But you can't touch your B pawn. Make castle queenside then. No,
that would be fun. So the point is, rook b3, the queen goes to a5, and there's no next move, right?
Wow, what a move! Bishop e5, stopping white from playing e5 itself.
And there is a knight on c3 being attacked.
But that knight on c3 doesn't have any
Yeah, the rook can always come to b3 and defend it, though. Now Hikaru has managed to steal the pawn back and leave black with these weaknesses here.
But
no, I agree. It feels a little shaky for white. Now that black's king is out of the center, you can play rook e8. The e pawn might come under fire.
Go to the d file, right? Only open. Well, the b and the d files are the open ones.
Right. Yeah, I like this move because now that the pawn is under extra pressure, it highlights the dysfunction of this situation. Rook having to guard the knight, knight having to guard the pawn. Kind of tricky for white to figure out how to wiggle out of that.
Yeah, and Lev, well, also down a minute on the clock.
Yeah,
so.
that's probably the biggest issue in the position. I think black is doing fine here, but...
Wait, so knight takes e4? I guess it's just take on e5 and...
Just going to simplify it out. Takes. As Hikaru would say.
Takes. How about queen c5 here, then?
Yeah, queen c5 and queen d4 are both on my mind.
Oh my gosh, he's just unbelievable to watch.
The fact that they have not figured out how to get a camera on Hikaru in over-the-board tournaments yet, you know? I mean, this is so clearly the next thing that needs to happen for chess.
Yep. That's it. Just only on him, right?
Yeah. Only on him. There's just Hikaru watch all the time, no matter where he is.
Okay, so rook d1. Rook takes c4?
Yeah. Rook takes c4 is a free pawn, but Hikaru's going to get into the 7th rank, and probably white shouldn't lose this endgame.
It will be down a pawn in the end, but yeah, it should be holdable.
The 7th rank, the files, probably too active to expect black to be better. But again, I think the biggest issue so far, the biggest overarching storyline in this 5-minute portion has been Lev being down on the clock so much, and Hikaru just being an absolute freaking monster. I love the Hikaru with horns emote, because when he gets going like this, he's a demon.
Yep.
You know.
But I don't like what Hikaru's been doing. Okay, so that was a smart move. F3. If you take on c4,
he's going to check and then
rook
get
e1 and
yeah,
rook
exactly.
d7.
Check on either one, a rook e3 or rook d1, and then the rook enters into the 7th rank. You could even see black getting big trouble.
No, but then rook e8. It's still good for black. You're up 2 pawns.
Oh yeah, rook e8 stops rook e7, even though it gives up c7.
But black will be up a pawn in this endgame.
Yeah, good point.
This would be huge for Levon just to
just to take some momentum into the next round, right?
Have to go rook e8.
Yeah, okay, he does it. Getting a win here is black. So how do you do it? After trades any, let's provide some instruction. You play a5 and a4 so this rook can guard both pawns, and then figure out getting your king active. That seems like a nice setup.
You can do that, or you can play, or just taking the a pawn and using it.
Okay. Lev isn't going to want to take the draw, but now he has an extra tempo because the c pawn's already guarded, so maybe he thinks he can afford to bring the rook to f5 to guard. I don't like that. I like rook e8 much better. Right, you don't want to allow this. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. He's going for it. It really feels risky because your rook is going to be under fire. I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, and Hikaru's going for this idea.
But you can't push the second g pawn because f3 falls.
Well, you can after f2, king of 2, right?
But then you have rook e8, so you just in time.
Okay, so that's what he calculated. That's a nice point.
So now he's going to
show that if the king of 2 would have had rook e8, and white's not in time. Okay, so now back to the line we talked about, but you don't have a5, a4, which is what I wanted. So you have to settle on this endgame, which probably should be holdable for white. Despite the double pawns, it's just not a big enough weakness.
Yeah, from black's perspective, you just got to go a5, a4, just push the pawn pretty far down the board. Don't put it to a2 quite yet. But, okay,
now the G
wait,
pawn.
Why that pawn?
Yeah, that was surprising, but
look at Hikaru's face.
he's like, all right, that's a little bit. It's not the duck lips, more of a puppy dog face.
Yeah, so you're helping me out by making that capture.
Hikaru like it. Hikaru hungry. Sorry. I want to say things that are bouncing around his head. Wonder what I'm going to get for lunch later.
But I'm asking the same question. I'm hungry. I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that king looks very advanced to rook a6, forces the king back to g5.
Yep. King has to come back. If check, at some point you have to push these pawns, and the point is there's no progress to be made. White's setup. The only way white loses this is by moving things and doing things. If you just sit tight, it's a draw.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we have here.
Just,
so
don't allow any little tricks, right? h4, probably rook h1 could have been 8.
Right.
So that's why Hikaru played g3 himself.
One of the last tricks you might have is if you could sack and get your king. Oh, and he goes for it. If you could sack and get your king in, because if takes g6, I was thinking there was a check here, and I win the h pawn. Okay, it's not anything. There's no way. But if I win the f pawn, that would be irritating. I think that was his idea, right? It was something like this where suddenly white's king and the f pawn are really irritating.
And just go back one move here. So after f4, instead of g4, king takes h4, which looked like a good move. You get mated on h1. King h6, king h4. That would be check and mate.
So Lev going for one last try here, but not going to be enough. Hikaru's still looking very relaxed here. Is that a turtleneck under the plaid? I don't know what he's doing with his style today.
Oh, my.
All right, well, we're going to have a very, very quick break for everybody. And there we go. So that's what Hikaru has been listening to on his mind. Apparently somebody let the dogs out. Somebody's going to have to get the dogs back in if you're Levon Aronian, because right now Hikaru Nakamura has been nothing short of phenomenal.
Yep.
And we're going to see if Levon can sort of change the tempo, change the rhythm of this match as we head into the faster time controls. We will be back with 3 Minute in just a moment. dogs out? Who let the dogs out? First of all, can we acknowledge how great that bark is? Ruff, ruff. That was great, dude. Together, we could be a doggy band.
Are we the Baja Man?
The Baja Man. Well, if you're just joining us, Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura confirmed that he's been listening to Baja Men Who Let the Dogs Out. So
Can't believe that.
we were pretty sure it was outlawed in most of the states, but apparently it's still a thing. What's definitely a thing is Hikaru Nakamura's dominance in rapid, blitz, and bullet chess. And today he's been nothing short of phenomenal at this point, though there is still a lot of chess left. The 3-minute portion, what's Levon going to do, or what does he need to do to turn things around?
Play much faster. Because especially in this time control where there's 2 minutes less, right, than 5 minutes. You should play quickly, because sometimes when you play just kind of intuitively, your opponent gets down the clock and they make the mistakes. And Hikaru is, of course, a brilliant speed chess player, but he's not perfect. And we've seen that in this match. He has made some really critical mistakes that have allowed Levon not just to equalize bad positions, but actually get advantages. So Levon needs to just play much quicker in this time segment.
All right. Well, the games are getting set to begin. We should have liftoff here in just a moment. 3-minute chess is underway. Thanks to all of you that are with us. Greatly appreciate all your support, all the viewers. Thanks for spending your weekend with us. And we're pretty excited here for the next segment to begin. Here we go. Levon Aronian. The comeback starts. It starts now, right?
Yep.
As the Backstreet Boys are teaching us, it's never too late for a comeback tour.
Thanks, Carson Daly.
Thank you. I feel like I'm right back here at TRL, you know. I am Carson Daly, and I am a massive tool. I am...
I'm going to have to rein it in here.
What?
I'm going to have to rein it in.
I don't want to rein it in.
I just barked.
I'm so tired. We have done the month of the World Championship. We've done the SEC. Everyone's making fun of us. I mean, when I get tired, I get emotional.
Yep.
I'm having to not even read the chat right now. So I'm just going to have fun.
I literally barked for this show.
Dude, you just barked for this show.
Yeah.
If the people can't, be nice, they need to go watch Bambi and go do something else. If you're not here to enjoy the chess and be nice, then get out of here.
People saying love you, Danny, so I mean, you got some love here.
Whatever. All right, here we go. Let's watch the chess.
Okay,
what do we got?
Okay, knight on h4.
We're back to this Italian is just all day, every day. Lev trying to prove that he can get an attack against Hikaru's king, and he just can't.
The rook e1 played so that knight e3 is supported, right? With the
this is nice.
Keep that square under control. I'm thinking for black, instead of bishop e6, at some point, tempting to go king h8
and try for f5.
Yeah,
that's interesting. But I like Lev's plan because the point here, we've highlighted several times, you never want to take in these structures and open the f file and give the attack. But you put the knight on f5, and you can just kind of keep the staring contest between the bishops going. In fact, it's such a strong threat that now Hikaru has to part with that dominant bishop, right?
So maybe play knight e7 here, so that way he can keep control over the f5 square. He can take on c4 first, and then play knight e7.
It's another structure to be familiar with, that this is also not a bad double pawn trade for white. Often the d file is useful, over control of the center, and even c5 is a shot in some positions. So structural instruction coming here.
And the problem is, look at the setup for white on the king side. The bishop on g3 can't move. Knight on h4 can't really move because the only square it can go to is f5, but that just loses a pawn. So a5, I like that. Playing on the queen side, queen b3 can come in. Maybe rook a3 to b3 as well.
Just like a super thorn in your side when you have a weakness like that to watch out for. I was going to say, even if you don't go queen b3 that aggressively, if you bring the rook up, right?
And I hated Hikaru's move rook to d8 because after queen b3, you're going to have to put your rook back on b8. I feel like a wasted tempo and an important one at that.
Yeah.
So now rook a4 doesn't work because you can always put that knight
back on c6.
Yeah.
And then it hits both a5 and guards b4. But it is an important thing to just keep in mind that black's structure is a little frustrated over here.
When does c5 come?
Well, now maybe you go back to doubling on the d file with the threat of c5. I like it a lot.
Yeah, because the rook's not doing anything on it.
Also useful to back up because you can play b4 and slowly prepare c5 if you're into that.
That's true. Actually, the slow play is good play here because
sometimes you got to slow jams.
Yeah, a5 is protected.
I thought you were going to say some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross.
Whoa.
But you didn't. Anyway, we'll get back to that. b4 comes.
All right, so bishop on g3 is really
that's
bothering
the problem, right? If you could put the bishop on e3 and then protect your knight, you'd be happy here. But white's got some dysfunction to figure out.
Trade queens, like you play queen d2 at some point to offer the queen exchange, or do you keep them on? You chose to keep them on, which I think
is he
going to
take with the pawn and then try to use the g file? Maybe.
Wow. Okay, now knight f5 comes. I guess Hikaru.
Yeah, now you got to trade, but here comes h4 if you're not careful. h4, knight f4. Yeah, Lev wants to get the leads.
Perfect decision.
You have to get him off the board, and now you're back to threatening c5. And if the knight moves, watch out for bishop takes c5.
Yep, and now bishop h4 just to provoke g5 at some point could
this
be an
feels
option.
this feels better for white. Now you can get c5, and he
There it
does.
is.
I like it.
Take
Bishop
on
takes
e5.
c5.
Hikaru's not happy.
Yeah, this is not been the best way to start the 3-minute portion. Lev feeling the rhythm, feeling the. I think it's the right get on up. It's bobsled time. Lev runnings.
Left, right.
He's trying to get something going here.
Oh, rook g2, hitting g6. You can't go king h7 because rook e7 check comes in. Same
Yeah.
you can't go king f7 either for the same reason. Oh, actually, you can go king f7.
Yeah, because you have rook e7 at the end, and if everything gets traded and you try to take g6,
No, that-
f3 falls.
Yeah. Okay, h6. Yeah, it's
We're
that's
probably
become-
doing too much in our head here, but we'll do it anyway. Yeah, so, I mean, the king can run up and just show the line that this might be Hikaru's best chance, because this would be an active trade.
Oh, he made the move.
Ooh,
I
he goes
wasn't-
to h7.
No,
but-
that's
but
bad.
now that's...
Rook d7 check.
Yeah.
King h6 is 4. It's an f4. You take with a knight f4. Bishop,
Bishop
g7 check.
g7.
Yep.
I don't know why I sung that. Bishop comes to g7. Here. It's good.
No, this is look at Hikaru. He's trying to.
Yeah. Trying to dance it. Some problems you can't dance your way out of. Oh my god, but you can. You can sack your way out of.
Yeah,
I
but,
mean,
you
he's
know,
losing,
You
but
can dance if you want to.
Right.
You can leave your world behind.
but if you sack in exchange and you don't get compensation,
You ain't no friend of mine.
boom!
Did
it. Yeah. Woo!
But is he gonna win this? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know if he has enough actually. Hikaru did find the
Oh, he missed. Look at Lev. He shook his head. Rook b2 was a bad move. Wait, rook e1 check. Oh, there's okay. That's why.
No.
D3's covered for now.
Yeah, for now.
But he couldn't take on c7 because rook e1 check would have been
And
devastating.
rook e1 check followed by a fork
Wait.
with the knight popping in.
e6. Did Hikaru just miss that?
Oh, b6 super strong. Oh, he shakes his head.
Yep.
Less than ideal.
Much less than that. Losing. So now get your rook to safety. There we go. H4. That way, if there's a check, you know it's bring
Yeah.
two.
Want
That's
to avoid the rook and knight mating net, right? That's how you lose this game if you're white.
There's also a mating net for white now.
Yeah,
to
the
checkmate.
king is trapped. If you get rooks on the 7th rank somehow, not that easy, but with b7 falling and the king in danger, Lev should get this one.
Yep.
This should be a game that Aronian finds a way to take
B8.
home. You also had rook
Wait, what was
f7. I
that?
wonder if that was
What
better.
was that? Why did he go
Yeah,
king
why did he
h2?
go? I think rook f7 was wasting. Rook f7 gained a tempo on the knight, and then b7.
Yeah. Okay, so he's going for the
Huh.
checkmate.
He likes himself a mated king.
Rook
But
f7.
g5 is coming. The
rook
king gets
h7
out.
check.
Rook d7, also very nice.
Oh.
Double threat. Rook
A king
d6
g6.
mate and b7.
Or just take there.
Okay, he's threatening rook
Whoa,
takes
whoa, whoa, whoa.
d5.
Okay, now we got to calculate. What is happening?
Both
here?
sides are getting a queen.
Oh, he's taking the knight with check.
Owie.
Oh, he's getting
Yeah,
queen
yeah.
first. I don't know what he's doing, but either way. Oh, he took.
Oh my gosh, what is he
Was it-
doing?
What is
Too
this?
many.
Rook
Who
takes
let the
b5.
dogs out?
Get a queen.
I don't know. I feel like a dog right now.
Okay, so
Okay, he's got rooks on the board. If he's not winning here,
he's winning for sure.
we have a problem. But I think Aronian, even with less than 10 seconds, is going to take this one
Rook
home
f1.
and start. Yeah, the queen guards g3. Hikaru forgot about that.
His reaction.
I called it. Queen guards g3. Hikaru forgot about it. That's funny.
He was freaking
Oh,
out.
man.
He totally forgot.
Hilarious. All right, well, the point is, we have liftoff if you are Team Aronian. Levon showing he's not going to go quietly into the night.
Yep.
He will never give up, never surrender. And whether he's going full Backstreet Boys right now with the comeback tour, we don't know yet.
Yeah. And,
You think they'll have Carson Daly open for them on their Backstreet tour?
No. That would be.
Right? If they're looking for a new tool to open for them,
We got a
I'm
wrench
available
right here.
at
huh?
times, right?
Yep. Oh, wait, I didn't like when Hikaru played this the last time.
Yeah.
Just to remind everybody the format. There's 60 minutes in total of this 3 plus 1 second increment portion.
Yep.
And then we get to the bullet. But okay, $50,000 total prize fund for the Speed Chess Championship. Not a bad payday for people who are sitting at their computer.
Yeah,
playing
these
some
last
chess.
few matches too, just like they get. I mean, I think what did Wesley win yesterday? $5,000.
Oh, yeah,
he
over
won
$5,000.
$5,200 in 3 hours.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that it wasn't the biggest payday for Duda because the match money is split based on win percentage toward the end. He still made decent money.
Sure.
Given that he lost a chess match for 3 hours and had his mom, making homemade juice or whatever in the other room. I mean, it wasn't a bad deal for Duda, but
Look at this structural choice by Aronian, allowing the bishop to be captured on b6.
Yeah.
Saying
C4.
that the c4 and a4 pawns.
Saying I guard a5, and now I have the c file. Yep. Me like it. Hikaru's going to call his bluff, though. But now Hikaru's... if he gets the pawn to b3. And that's what he does.
Rook e8. I took the e-file first.
E-file first belongs to black. Now this knight is stuck to guarding the b3 pawn.
Yep.
Y'all got problems.
Hikaru stroked his chin and does not look pleased, especially because Levon's playing very fast.
He went Godfather, right? Yeah. You're gonna never show up for coffee.
Wait, rookie.
E3 hits b3, but he wants to solidify the rook's safety.
Hikaru liked that move f5. He saw it on the board and he was like, yeah, that's pretty.
Right, Hikaru approves.
Yeah.
You love when Hikaru approves.
That's the deal. You go king f2, f4, rook e1, just trade off the... I guess the black king just comes to e5 very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just take it. Rook e1, king f7, king f6. I mean, the plan is very simple. And not to mention, look at that g3 square.
Yeah.
So
Well, also the g2 pawn is backward,
Yep.
the b3 pawn's backward, so you've got targets, even if this bishop lacks avenues currently. If you can get the bishop on a diagonal where it starts to come into the back door here, you're going to have potential winning chances for black.
Well, I point out the g3 square because the king on f6 threatens to go to e5, but also sneakily...
I like that.
king g5 now. Just play it.
King g5 instantaneously.
I guess your knight comes back to e2 at the right.
It would have been blocked. That may mean that there's no real winning chances here then.
So he's going to go h5, g4. He's not going h5.
Hikaru defending super well. Got the king over here to help deal with this weak pawn, which is going to free up the knight at some point. Watch out for that pony to start getting frisky.
If you go, let's say bishop b1, I just want to show attack. So king e5, you go bishop d3.
I'll go here.
I think 5, and then bishop d3. Then bishop takes a4.
Very nice, and suddenly the king is overwhelmed, guarding too many pieces.
Lev pushing forward. Still doing okay on the clock. Now down, 15 seconds, but that's not the worst thing in the world.
Right. Not nearly the type of time pressure we saw in the 5-minute portion. And we talk about that in this format a lot, that sometimes just when the games get faster, the players just speed up, right, and what you need.
Yeah, I just saw a funny chat saying, we're trying very hard, but it's clear that we're kind of biased for Lev. We like both these players. It's
they're saying we're biased?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true at all. I think most of the time we're accused of being biased toward Nakamura.
Yeah.
I mean,
because
he's kind of
so impressed by everything he does.
Yeah, and he spends more time on Chess.com and streaming than any other Super Grandmaster. So I think I would say the opposite is usually the case. You know what we are as commentators, though? I think you naturally end up finding yourself emotionally rooting for a comeback, right? Because you want it to be close. So if they're reading into the emotion of our voice, they're probably right. I mean, right now, would I mind if Lev won a couple games? No. Right? I mean, I'm here for the drama. Or I don't know what you're here for. You're here for the Cheetos and the lack of judgments because no one can see you on camera. They have Cheetos.
Oh, I'm hungry.
They're just sitting there.
Cheetos, I got
their shirt off. They got barbecue stains on their shirt judging a show. You know?
I don't like Cheetos.
I've gone full judgmental. I'm just tired. I'm at my wit's end.
All right, Hikaru's going to go knight
any
A8
trolling.
here. Called it.
All right, knight d7. I like it.
Yeah, they can repeat like.
Yep. Quit calling me out. I love that guy. The Carson Daily's available. I better watch it. I might lose my job. Replace one tool for another. A wrench for a daily. Right?
You're so ridiculous.
Yep.
It doesn't even make sense, but it's so good.
Yep.
It hurts so good. Okay, we have another Italian game.
C.
So he keeps going back to this.
C3. Again, yeah, no. Lev feels he has the potential for an advantage here. Right? See Lev be stubborn. Like see spot run. See Lev be stubborn.
See Lev be... The bishop h4, that was really interesting when he played it in the first game.
Yeah.
But now it's switching back.
But the sack
to
didn't work, so.
Yeah. Or at least the sack, it didn't work in that game, but it was super fascinating. It deserves more study.
Yep.
People love you, Dan.
This line is great for White if you're not thinking about wrapping it. I mean, I maybe feel like I like White's positions here, but Hikaru also plays this position so aggressively and so quickly. Look at the clock, right? Have we seen a game where he hasn't just been fully aggressive over here on the king side?
Nope, he's going back to that weapon every single game, saying that he likes its chances here. But liked exactly what Lev did. He's
And
going
we're
back
back
to
to
it.
the position again. If
Okay.
you're just joining us in the 3-minute portion, Lev won the first game with the white pieces in this exact line, and
Knight G7 is definitely an improvement over Rook 8.
yeah, in that game, Hikaru played a very bad move here and just lost a critical tempo, and Lev kind of never looked back. So Knight G7, a much better move by Hikaru. Maybe he'll go for your idea of F5, Robert,
Definitely makes sense.
just because it's your idea.
No, it's just you're hitting at the center, trying to go F4, and if you take, then your knights get free.
Now
Queen
he's-
B3 is a good way to stop that,
Yeah,
of course.
little discovered check. Well, how's your father right there? Checking it in. All right.
Okay, so Queen takes B7, Rook F to B8, traps the Queen.
That
Definitely worth
is
pointing
a
out.
lady.
And-
Yeah, this is a much better plan by Hikaru this time around. He's holding C5. He gets the same things he did in the other game, and he may go for F5 at some point here with threats of F4 and this bishop and knight running out of squares. Kind of dangerous for Levon. Hikaru like it.
Yeah, and
Hikaru like it.
your idea before with B4, Queen playing B4 and
Yeah.
bishop for C5.
Feels
Might
better
have to happen.
than what he has. If you have the pawn on B4 here, then F5 can always be met by C5. And actually, that's a good point. F5 would have been met by C5 there as well, right? Because of the knight hanging. I didn't even realize that.
And Lev is going to pry open the king side, right? That's what his plan
Yeah.
is with his F3. And Hikaru doesn't love his position, just shook his head. And Distant Fire, great comment.
What?
Sometimes I feel Danny needs to be modded.
I need to be muted, likely.
Modded.
Modded, is that
Yeah.
the same thing?
Well,
Modded,
instead of
muted?
muting you just put mod.
Put me in a timeout.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so Queen G6.
Yeah, and it actually guards the knight so that now F5 is a threat. Because what I was highlighting before is that if you're ever pushing F5, right, White has this nice little shot and the knight's undefended. So this is a real threat now. F5 be on the board soon, likely.
Yeah, and actually you're throwing G takes F3 as well. Okay, guess what the king's in H1 because now H4 is not a.
Okay, he's going the other direction, I think, because he sees an opportunity to just play more positional. F3, C4's doubled,
Like-
right? He's got knight C5 coming.
Playing H4 himself at some point
Yeah,
soon.
and here comes the battle over the G file.
This looks really bad for White. Just H4 here. Yeah, I think he's just timing it, but H4.
Yeah, well, now he stopped it. Interesting. And if White can go back for B4 and C5, I love the flexibility of that breakthrough.
Hikaru's not happy that he just
Yeah.
allowed this F2 move.
Yeah, little miffed, little peeved.
Okay, so knight F4. What is the threat? Just probably Rook G6, Rook G8, double on the G file, and try to go for something.
Wow, he trades into the ending, but he gets C5. That means D7's opening up, and I'm not sure why I'm so excited about it, but I am.
Rook D8, yep. You can't take on C7
Yeah,
because
but you
Rook
can.
D1 check.
Oh, and you can't play here because Queen C1.
Yep.
Y'all got problems. Wow, actually, I think Levon totally missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's-
by shaking his head, he's
frustrated
kind
with himself.
And look, Hikaru just going nuts. Oh my gosh, he is just. Hikaru is helping me have a good time.
Yeah.
It just makes me laugh, and we
so
need that.
funny. Now just take on D2 and play Rook G6 probably is good. Or play...
Yeah, just a really epic miscalculation there. I love C5 for the same reason of Rook D7, but just clearly a tactic that both myself and Levon missed, and now Hikaru probably going to go on to win this one and get his first victory of the 3-minute portion. Hikaru has not won yet in the second segment.
Vaughn is so frustrated with himself. There's just a huge oversight. His
Yeah.
position wasn't great to begin with,
Yep.
but miscalculating things like that is very painful as a chess player. So, okay, B4. What's the exact idea? Rook D1 check looks pretty strong. Just,
Yeah,
give a check.
It's not mate because we got the rook coming back.
Taking on B4 can't be bad. You take on B4, play C6, put your rook on D4. This all looks... Go ahead and put your rook on D4 first.
H4. Hikaru's not going to give up on the mating net here. He's trying to make a baby over here, looking for mate. In fact, Levon doesn't have enough time to really deal with this kind of pressure.
Yeah, he's got no good moves. Now rook D2 is possible.
Yeah. Actually looks really dangerous. H3 comes and G2's a spot.
You can't protect F3 and H2 with the queen, so you
Yep.
take rook F1. And
But
now-
here comes H3, I think.
Or just rook B2. Just so many options here.
Yes, look at that. That's patience right there. That's patience.
Okay, well, actually, can Lev get out of this important position? Nice move. Oh, Hikaru's not happy.
Yeah, he let him out. No more mate.
A queen.
E2. He's wiggling. King F1. Running. Watch out for H3 to become a target if you're not careful. If you check the king too much, it'll walk up to G3, and then black regrets all of this.
And a big problem as well is look at the 3-on-2 on the queen side. That's actually the pawns are stuck. It's
Yep.
not a real advantage for black for the time being, because that's why he's offering the trade of queens, saying that
Yeah.
your extra pawn is on the wrong side of the board.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He just has to avoid giving up the B pawn with check. That's why he didn't put the king on E1.
Yeah, and if,
I think we'll probably just see a draw here.
that would be a huge save for Levon.
Yeah, but I think it's where we're headed because
If queen F4, queen G3
yeah,
check.
Hikaru could risk losing, right? If he trades queens and loses the H pawn, that's a
Right.
problem. Only 2 seconds for Lev though, so Hikaru's going to try to swindle his way to a flag here.
I keep missing the fact that he's got no time.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
well,
like
I
looking
mean,
at
this is the first 3-minute game where, frankly, we've had a reason to talk about it. Lev has played very fast so far.
Me too.
He can pre-move. Can pre-move.
Oh, the evaluation bar is crazy.
Computers don't understand king and pawn endings.
Well, king F6 might be a good move. 6.
Can't wait to see the reaction to that comment. Computers don't understand
King
chess.
E3. Go.
Only got 1 second. That's the issue.
Oh, look at that
Oh,
move.
he's
So
working it.
smart.
He's working it. Oh, Hikaru's like, oh, geez.
King G3. Go. Just go. King H3. King.
King G4,
Push.
H4.
Wow, it's a race. Okay, they're both going to queen. Look at Hikaru shaking his
But he
head.
wins the E5 pawn in the end, being Levon.
Yep.
Problem is he gained a whole bunch of time back on the clock. So not only has Lev
and that F pawn
gotten
is
in a good spot, but he's now up to 4 seconds.
F4.
Because all the pre-moves.
And only white feels like they should be able to win this game
Yep.
on the board. Queen E8 check. Don't go.
Yeah, it should be a draw, but if you check on the wrong square, Hikaru can lose, right? This is you got to be danger of a crossfire check,
Here
like
it
that.
comes.
And if here, then Queen F6
Or he's just
or King G5. And again, you have to
It's
be super careful.
quality over quantity, right? That
Yep.
one pawn is better than the 2 black pawns. B7's hanging. F5 is not.
Here comes F5.
F5?
Oh, he could have played F5 because Queen check actually didn't win anything. I thought he might,
Okay, so
but no.
he should go
Now
back
he's
there.
repeating.
Go King G5 again.
I think he should go King G5 and F5.
But maybe he's worried about his clock situation because he does only have.
Yeah, he's trying to like just gain time back on the clock. Does,
Take
ooh,
B7.
look at that move.
Take
Look
B7.
at that move. Oh,
Oh, we quit.
but Hikaru is doing so well just using the time. I think Lev was trying to move the F
But
pawn.
here comes the king. The thing is, the queen can't keep checking this king. He'll go to D7 to C8.
Yeah, and if you check again on the dark squares, you're going to have to trade queens, and then we have, like I said,
Oh, Hikaru's
Freddie
really
becomes Francis.
Hikaru's really upset right now.
Take B. Oh, but he's going to use the time to his advantage.
King C8. Go.
Lev. Oh my God, he made a move in 0.3 seconds. If we're not on camera, but Robert keeps grabbing me every time. Oh!
Okay, it's a.
Oh! I didn't know! No! What happened?
Lev is fuming. He can't believe what just happened.
Oh my God.
What just happened?
Hikaru traded. What was the final evaluation of that
It's
position?
Equal. Should have been a draw. The black king would have gone for the F pawn. The white king would have taken the A pawn. Should have been.
I don't think Lev thought he was going to take the queen.
Did he pre-move something else?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he had only 1.3 seconds.
Wow. And look at Lev going to the Karo Khan now.
Oh my gosh. What a heartbreaking moment there.
Yeah. Especially because he, like, and it's such a topsy-turvy game with no time remaining, he almost actually pulled off a win considering how the game was going. That's...
No, I mean also just from a like pre-moving strategy perspective, you always want to pre-move capture, right?
Yeah, I wonder if there's
Because
some,
then if they played something else, it just breaks the
I wonder if
pre-move.
there's some lag on his end.
I doubt
You
it.
doubt it?
Yeah, his connection looks super solid. We can check ping times, but I think he just didn't pre-move taking C7 and didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a heartbreaking loss for Lev. And he almost, I think, was surprised that Hikaru traded queens.
Yeah.
Wow. It was too bad because he also had a win earlier in that game. Queen takes B7 check, I think you were saying.
Yeah, just... I don't know.
Wow.
Hikaru's so mad at himself. What's he doing?
Well, I think he also knew he kind of feels bad about that one.
Yeah, nobody likes to win like else's board.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't black just up? I mean, down a
White's
pawn?
just winning here. Lev likely frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Tough moments like this happen, and just like the highs and lows of Blitz and bullet chess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Who's that? A Carson Daly. Oh, classic.
Oh, it's so good.
You know, who would win in a fight, me or Carson Daly?
I think you would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I
I
think
think
he's,
so
he's
too.
more teddy bear.
Yeah,
It's a mean bully.
yeah. No, I'm just, he just seems like a guy that's like he's gonna just ask to like any way we can resolve this non-violently while it's already been committed that we have to fight. Like
You're in like full Anchorman mode, and he's trying to keep peace. Okay, so let's go what's
Wow.
going on in this game. Take on C2. That queen almost getting trapped down there. Queen C2. I guess it doesn't get trapped, but because you kind of have to take that pawn at some point. Otherwise, white's just up one. Beating queens. Hikaru is not expecting that. Yes. Okay, white's just up a pawn, so Hikaru is going to press this endgame. C2 pawn can't be taken. The knight on d7 is hanging. So, where do you go? If you go knight f8, then that knight may not make its way back into the game in any meaning. And from white's perspective, you want to play c3 at some moment, but c3 is always made by a3. Rook a to c1, it's a smart way to start. Now c4 be played. Ah, look at that. It's actually...
It's a huge advantage for white now.
Yeah, but very smart by Lev to play this e5 move to try to lock this bishop in on the g2 square. The issue being that just go to f1 and reroute itself. So black
Supporting
is pretty toast.
c4, and even the bishop coming around to the light square. Here, I think just king f2. Yep, he plays it before I can highlight it. Wow. Well, super frustrating. Had us on the edge of our seat, but now Lev is down on time and down on the board. But
Now I went from such an emotional like roller coaster there.
I know.
like
I was on the edge
adrenaline
of my
rush.
seat. I was screaming.
Yeah.
I lost myself in the heat of the moment.
And now I'm just like kind of like, okay, now we're
Wow.
on the new game. I don't know what to say.
Yep. You can also just ping if you there's in fact Levon Aronian has less lag right now on the server than Hikaru Nakamura does. Anybody can type /ping and then username on Chess.com and you can see people's connection to the server. So last time we checked, Levon's connection is actually stronger than Hikaru's. So sorry everybody, conspiracy theories
Over.
and excuses. I think it was just a pre-move mistake, just a bad. And it sounds silly, but it's one of the things Hikaru never messes up because he plays so much online chess. And we always tell kids, like, you always pre-move capture, because look, if on the analysis board, if you pre-move capture the bishop here, and if black doesn't take it, it just instantly resets it. I think it was just a basic kind of pre-move mistake, which is really frustrating. So
Especially if you pre-move with the piece that the
Yep.
queen got to capture. So. Okay, Hikaru's putting on.
Yeah, he's putting on a show here, and right now this
Look at
is
the time
just really
situation
tough.
as well. I didn't even look
and
at that.
I think Levon is definitely, it's definitely a frustrating loss because of the way it happened, and he was the only one who could have won. But it's time pressure, it's time scrambles. It's what happens in online games. So
Let's see. Black have any chance to survive this. G5 can come. You can just play rook to B6 and bring your other rook in. There's rook to 6. A4 is hanging still. But if you take it, bishop A4, rook C4, rook C7 check, something like that, or rook C7 check. Just too many good options. Okay, bishop D7.
Hikaru working it.
Yep, one
Tough.
at a time.
Tough. Well, that's 2 wins in a row now for Hikaru Nakamura in the 3-minute portion. One that was obviously a super heartbreaker that we were all just talking about. One there just very, very clean in a game that now has Levon mixing it up further here as white. We're no longer in the Italian structure we've been seeing, Robert. Our first Scotch game, right?
Yep.
Here.
You could play
the
it or you
theory's
can
pretty
drink
fast
it.
here. What?
You can play it or
You
you
can
can
play it
drink
and you could drink it.
Yep.
I think you and I, maybe. Sorry, another discussion.
So, okay, now we have this idea with the queen on f6, semi-open file, but white's semi-open file, the b file is not of much use. There's a bishop on b6, just shutting that down.
Yep.
The control of the e5 square will be important, and same with the e4 square. The difference is that white can always move this knight and go pawn f3 to kick something out of e4. If, say, this knight on c6 is take so bishop b5 here. Okay, I was thinking if that knight was taken, then you can just put a piece in the e5 square. Like it.
Bishop a5, hitting c3. You don't want to put your bishop on either one of these squares. Okay, that's a weird square as well, because you really would like the bishop to be there. But a rook to b3. That's a nice little maneuver. In fact, I may get my wish.
And Hikaru actually just did like a head nod of that was good.
That was the right idea. Now I've got I got to figure something out here as black.
The bishop on a5, it wasn't really coming back in the game anyway.
Yeah, it can't be trapped. You wish you could do this, but again, the Chess.com bugs don't allow it.
Was black going to play for c5? Is that an idea just to get this bishop some life?
I love it. But I also feel like maybe I should call the bluff. Bishop a3 and
bishop
see if
A3
you're
looks
willing
good.
to play a sack, right? I expect Levon to play either bishop a3 or bishop e3. But, okay, this is a little more solid, protected, keeps an eye over here. Ooh, a different move.
He's going to meet g6 with knight g4.
But now he's got the bishop coming back here. Oh, maybe he wants the bishop g5?
But
It's a strange position for the bishop all the way.
Because bishop g6 doesn't work now. Bishop g6, queen g6, knight e5. I take on e5.
Yep.
And then bishop c2 at the end.
I was going to say and h3 is falling.
Oh, that too. But
Right.
Yeah. Bishop c2. Fuck so. Yikes. Black's pieces feel off.
Yep.
Knight e5 is a possibility here. Right, you have knight e5, your knight's pinned on g6, so I can win some material. But maybe
He goes for it.
Hikaru's happy to give up.
He might have to.
Maybe he'll go.
Yeah, he's going for it. Kind of gives a little shoulder shrug, like, well, all right, let's see it, right?
I like that move, bishop
Yeah.
e4. Take with the pawn.
Simplifying, fixing your structure, and opening up coordination.
Queen f3, doesn't that win a pawn? Because queen f3, I'm turning g4 and the pawn on c6.
Yep.
Okay, rook g3.
I like
I
it.
understand that you don't want your rook shut out with d3 coming, but it's still coming.
D2, bring the rook over. Problem is, if you get c5, I mean, who's better when you have two passed pawns going, right? Got to be super careful.
I think Hikaru's doing fine here. Probably. These pawns are so strong. Bishop g6, offer the trade of queens.
Ah, oh, I don't want to trade queens, though. I don't want to. You can also play g6.
Yeah, g6. I'm just not a little less fond of that because it does make my king feel a little vulnerable. Though you're right, there's still a possibility.
Ooh,
Whoa.
another way to offer the queen trade. And not only that, look how dangerous the d pawn suddenly is, right?
Right.
Daryl's back in town.
So what do you do here? Because if you take on e5, queen e5, rook e5, that pawn's going to d3 next. Queen h4.
Feels like it's been a little bit of that kind of day here for Levon. Like he outplayed Hikaru's white in this game, had pressure, forced an exchange sack, and Hikaru was like, all right, that actually helps
rook
me.
e3, rook
Well,
e3.
rook e3, just missed it.
Huge
A skewer.
blunder.
Oh, when he
Huge
looks at
blunder. So
Okay,
now
but-
what, queen c4 check and take c6.
Yep. Probably enough to win the game. Hikaru shakes his head. He's going to have to make like T-Swift and shake this one off because he's going down. Look at that. That's
look
back
at that
rank.
move!
That's
such
back
a good
rank
move.
business.
That's just
It's
winning.
a good business to be in the back rank business right now.
And just rook e8.
Over. A huge bounce back here for Aronian.
Yep.
Not going to let
is it-
himself
Is rook
go on
e8
tilt.
d2 is the idea, maybe?
Why not just rook e8? But I thought you were taking on g8 playing rook e8 with check.
No, but you take with the queen on g8. So that was actually
okay,
very
yeah,
tricky.
duh. Yeah, but now this feels a little like we're moving backward here.
All right, just take a5.
Yeah, Hikaru
Like
a
rook
little
e5.
skeptical of it too. Rook e5 goes for the a-pawn the old-fashioned way.
Although then queen b4 might come in.
You can also play rook c1 and try to threaten rook takes c2 in emote.
Yeah, I mean, black is trying, like I said, rook e5, queen b4, and just trying to get some counterplay, right, to push this d pawn. If that pawn pushes, then can't stop him going to d1. Let's see.
Rook c4. I like that. Now he's threatening rook takes c2.
Okay. So what? So queen b6. Maybe he'll just bring the other rook up. Yeah, there it is, rook e4. So he's just keeping b4 defended. F2's protected as well. Now he can play rook f4 is a possibility. Black still has counterplay here. Rook e8 is possible, just trying to keep the... Alright, so... where's the knockout punch? That's the real question. How can Lev make the necessary progress to end the game? Because rooks are great. They need to get on the 7th rank, right? If the rook's on f7 and e7 or something like that, you're threatening mating ideas. g3 necessary. The rook was pinned. And just a few moves away from rook d7, rook f7. Main concept, just to get some count. Yeah. King on h7. You know, Lev's thinking at some point, maybe I should just take on d3. But this is much smarter.
It's gone so backwards from where it was.
Oh, he's just put his rooks in the 7th rank. Just pin everything down. Bishop on c2 can't do anything.
Yeah. Here we go. Hikaru defending g7 with all his might. But you're right, though. I think at some point you may see this transition, especially if you can take advantage of the rook being pinned to the king, right?
Okay. Big card trying for rook takes h4 with check, so he just lies the king over.
Queen e2.
Wait, what? Oh, if you take it, then there's bishop e4 checks up.
All of a sudden, Hikaru is on the attack, despite being down the exchange. But g7 is hanging. Oh, f3, can he get away with that?
Queen e2 check,
amazing.
King h8. Hikaru's face was just shocked.
Queen e2, king h3, and the king runs up. What a find by Lev.
Yep, and a resignation.
What an amazing move right there.
Yeah, it was the
that
only
was
move
ridiculous. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's like taking a walk on the wild side.
You're trying to be Lou Reed right now?
No, I mean, anybody who laughs in the
Whoa.
face of danger gets a simple reference in my book. Oh, man.
We know where
He's
this
gone
is
full
from.
Magnus.
Went full Magnus.
Full Magnus. Almost.
Instead of the same line with the knight c3 crazy stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
he just traded off queens and... Okay.
Okay, well, this
Black
is a
is very
structure
solid
that,
here.
for those of you who followed the World Chess Championship or our coverage of that event for this entire month, you know that we saw this happen in Game 5. Game 6, the one that, you know, the infamous game that ended where Fabiano unable to find a forced mate in 36, right?
Yep.
He's such a potzer.
Yeah,
Can't find a
couldn't
forced
find
mate in
that.
36. Yeah, no, but seriously, it was a game that Fabiano actually played brilliantly and outplayed the world champion, but just kind of got super unlucky and wasn't able to get the win. So here Hikaru trying to go full Magnus,
And look at Lev going knight g8.
bringing the knight around to e7. He'll probably kick the bishop first here. No.
Maybe he should have.
Yeah, maybe he should have. I don't know that transition. It's not the normal case where the bishop pair is just so good for black, but okay.
Yeah, this is
Hikaru
exactly
has a
what-
different idea.
Take on f5.
Ah, he's going to give up this bishop pair. Okay, yeah, so
Yes.
right that he's not worried about giving black the bishop pair, but decides he'd rather keep the dark square one on the board.
And that's very
Interesting.
smart, right?
Yeah,
Because
nice
knight
maneuver by
against
Hikaru.
one bishop
Yep.
means that the light square bishop can't kick a knight off the dark squares.
Yep.
But if you keep both of your bishops, then you can always try to trade your dark square bishop for that knight. So very good
Yep.
decision by Lev. Keep his bishop on the board. So now I
But
play a5.
this is a position that doesn't have a ton of excitement when you first look at it, but they can play this one for a while. Black can try to slowly push for a grind here. I like this maneuver. Make sure b2 knows who's boss.
h5's coming as well.
Again, what we saw. But wait a second.
Watch out for knight takes d5. It's
Yeah,
a
watch out
tactical
for
shot.
a lot of things. Wonder if he played rook b6 a little too quickly there,
So
because
rook e8, you got to do that.
I'm going to say, if you moved this bishop to show the analysis, there was a shot like this, hitting the rook, and all of a sudden white's just winning
Wait,
on the spot.
h4, was that the best move? I thought there was some
Yeah.
knight discovery idea. Perhaps not.
Yeah, that's what I was just showing in
Like knight
on
c4.
bishop 7, but maybe you still could have done it. Here it's not as good,
Yeah, 'cause
right?
b2 hangs.
Yeah, because you're not mating black, and so that's probably why it didn't work. But yeah, interesting tactics on the board now.
All right, so he's provoking g5, which leads me to believe that it just is a weakening move, helpful one. g5 will come at some point, or b5 now is
Yeah.
the other side of the board.
And b5, we talked about this a lot during the World Championship, Robert, how even if you have equal structures, you can still make progress with moves like this because you create this. Anytime you don't have a pawn with another pawn in front of it, that's a pretender. It's a pawn that's almost a passed pawn, and you can still create dynamic chances there.
Yep.
So,
Definitely.
ooh, nice maneuver to get the rook out, trying to fix the weaknesses over here on the queen side.
So do you want to trade a pair of rooks, like with rook e8 for black? I think you do. And bishop c2 is an idea to keep in mind as well. So I would, rook e8 is offering a rook exchange, saying that your pawn on b3 is not really that comfortable.
The biggest advantage, again, we see here is Hikaru up on the clock. Overall, Lev has played much faster in the 3-minute portion, which has been a big reason, I think, why he's doing better.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
F5.
But here, and now he
bail
just...
out with F5. He's just...
Yeah, well, he just puts his head in his hand. I think Lev just frustrated that he missed this idea of the bishop coming to the back door. Coming to g7 now.
Okay, so what's the deal on the queen side now? Rook b6, not sure I love that move. Could have won f5, but he didn't want to block in his own bishop. That's clearly the point here. So bishop g7 is king e7 doesn't trap it. You go bishop h6.
Nice technique here by Hikaru,
So
honestly.
I'd play king e8 in a tempo. I don't think my king is on the best square in d7, and I can kick the bishop away because your bishop can't take g7 and still protect b4. Good move.
Yeah, good move. Good point.
Now take on... Oh, you actually don't have to take, right? Your pawn a5 is protected. So
maybe move the bishop off g6 so you can fix this issue.
It may move like bishop c2.
Bishop c2, bishop d3. Goes to c2, and the rook has to be careful because...
Oh, c4 is a move here.
Well, a4 is
c4.
Oh, c4.
I saw it coming. Just
ouch. And the point is, after takes, the pawn is overworked by the fork threat on d6.
Yikes. So your bishop d3 was
Bishop
the right
d3
call,
was maybe a little more accurate, but the king was coming to e3 anyway. I was just about to highlight that your move was more accurate because I like that you had the threat of a4.
Yep.
But Hikaru found a concrete threat. But this, okay, that's a nice little way to
rook a7, I
respond.
guess. Oh, rook a7, bishop b6.
Yeah, the d4 pawn's weak. b3 is the threat.
How do I...
Kind of an
So
interesting
rook
exchange
a8.
sack here by Levon. And I like that he came up with it relatively quickly, because after missing c4, you could have really gone to the think tank, but he can't afford to do that with only 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, if b3, rook b2, and the pawn's going to fall, right? So now rook b... King e3 comes very quickly. Rook b2 is coming next. Also, this knight can relocate once the rook comes to b2.
He's trying to get the two pass pawns connected.
Yeah, this would be fun.
But I'm not even sure that works out. But
Yeah, because if takes, d5, are the pawns just too slow?
it looks slow, but maybe just rook a7 here to avoid any of
Yeah,
this
go
stuff.
through the back.
Put the rook behind the pawn.
Hit g7, threaten rook b7.
Yep.
Got to be pretty straightforward for white here.
Wow, it looked like Levon was making progress earlier and then just overlooking c4.
Yeah, one shot. This move right here.
One opportunity.
c4. Yo, mom's spaghetti.
Just gonna
Yeah,
put the king
the
on
pawns
b3.
are blockaded, which means that... Okay, he's going to play this move. Oh, I thought he was going to play f4 on g3, but now bishop gets to e1.
Yeah, the thing is...
Oh, wait, no, rook e2 check just went, sorry.
Yeah.
That would be a
wasn't even gonna
fork.
say that. I was say, okay, I can go bishop e1 and I'll just bring my king 4 and push
Okay,
my
don't
d-
play rook takes, because then bishop e1 would be good. But Levon, got to give him credit. He's created some real drawing chances here. That was a nice move.
winning that pawn, and now
That's
after
a
rook
nice
h5,
rook right there.
and actually you lose your h pawn too, because h2, king e4, followed by f4, and I hit your bishop next.
And it's over. As Donkey would say, that is a nice boulder. Well, Hikaru seems to have rebounded here and finding his form a little bit in the 3-minute portion. Even though Lev really... What line is this?
I have no idea.
It's coming fast, though.
You know, this might be that game between what's the guy from Zurich, Skvortsov, the organizer.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he played like Vichy
Oleg.
in something like
Yeah.
this. They had like some fun game, and this rings a bit familiar here. Maybe I'm mistaking the position.
But white seems to have some kind of pressure. If you get the bishop on f6, that black king isn't getting castled.
But the fact that Hikaru's playing it so quickly.
Yeah, means that that's vintage number 7. That's the difference between when you look over the shoulder to try to remember theory. Okay, now he's gone full. Oh, that's number 11. No, number 7. Number 7. Sorry, sometimes he can have me on the edge of my. Even as the world's leader in Hikaru Nakamura facial expressions, I make mistakes.
That's nobody's perfect.
Number 12 is closely related.
Is Queen C2 coming here? Oh, then there's Knight D7.
Yep.
So you're just in time for this Knight D7 idea. Maybe Knight G5? Is that possible? So if Knight G5, Knight D7, I go Knight takes H7. Trying to get.
I don't even know.
Okay, stopping Knight D7. This
Yep.
makes sense. But if Knight D7, Knight takes D7, King takes D7. Rook comes D8 really fast. White's underdeveloped on the queen side.
Yeah.
But this pawn on G7, that's such a nuisance.
But this is a nice way to just change the tempo or change the nature of the game with the king being on E8, rooks being disconnected. All of a sudden, everything about black's position starts working together.
Yep.
Very resourceful, Hikaru Nakamura.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
bishop D8. I think if white can just let everything get simplified, but somehow hold on to the dark square control of the G7 pawn, this knight's going to come from B3 to C5, D4, maybe from F3 to E5.
wait, maybe Knight C4 here. No, it doesn't work.
Oh, that would have been nice. The point why it doesn't work is because black has bishop D5 in the end.
So maybe Rook D1.
Rook D1 would threaten it. I like it. I like the way
Or
you
castle
think.
queen side. I don't know. There's too many options
No, he
here.
just backs up for some reason. That's also not a bad idea because now if the bishop comes back to B6, you can play knight to B3 and just kind of, force the trade, keep control over the dark squares.
Right. And white's currently up a pawn. Right, if we're counting. Yeah, white's up a pawn. So even if you gain that pawn, if you have structural problems and a king in the center, it's not going to be fun.
Yep.
Let's see.
Knight B3, bishop H6.
So, okay, what's the
Knight C5 check.
Oh,
Now-
king
now-
C7, queen G3.
Oh, wow.
I
What a
think.
nice move. Because if you trade, opening up the H file.
You end up losing a piece.
Yeah, it
bishop
takes
G7,
everything. You go
yeah.
here first. Can emote.
There
Nice
it is.
tactics.
There it is, queen G3.
You found it, but okay, I was going to say, can black play bishop before, and Hikaru plays it before I can highlight
So
it.
queen H4.
Queen is working her way in. Now get the king out of dodge. He does
Castle.
so. The H7 pawn.
Not quite.
Yeah, not quite falling. You got the X-ray.
Play
The
F-
bishop is defending the rook from behind.
Okay.
Oh, I like this move. This is the right transition, because white doesn't need to hold on to the G7 pawn, I think. Well, now you're going to take H7, aren't you?
I think so. I would.
F4.
Oh, look at that. Just bishop D4. Now F6 is falling. Okay, so take.
If you take on E8, the G pawn is on G7. Do I need to say that again? What if you take on G8,
Rook-
G4,
Nice.
all in? Where's my emote when I need it?
I think you could find it. I feel like you have a way.
I feel like I always have a way. I wish Twitch had a way where you could just press a button and it does the last emote you did. Does it instantly.
That'd be
Huh?
good.
Oh, Stream Deck does that? Oh, we got to get our Stream Deck rocking. I got myself a Stream Deck. I'm all into the Twitch cool kids now. Got myself a Stream Deck, but I haven't used it yet because we've been all busy with a small event from London. All right, but this has been a great game by Lev if he wins this one. Okay, you don't blunder H2 mate, and you should still go on
Just go queen
H5.
Queen H6, yeah, because go
Oh,
F4
Queen H6, now you're threatening to trade queens. Nice.
if you need, or just go G5 and push your pawns through. Okay, so
You
now
can even-
Knight E6 check.
I was going to say, you can just play this, because if the bishop takes it, right?
There's going to be problems with making a queen. In fact, that actually is just very good. Bishop
Yeah.
E6, pawn E6, queen E6, queen H7. Oh, that actually, I just got myself mated. Ignore
Uh-huh.
me. Ignore
Okay,
me.
but now the queen comes to F4, and it just feels like a matter of moments before. But now Hikaru is threatening to take and get G7, so Lev has to put this one away. Hikaru's not going to beat
Probably
himself.
B5 here. It's not like Black's king is very safe either.
Yeah, I like this move. No?
And he.
Okay, queen takes B4 would allow queen takes F6, but I think Hikaru can just put the queen back on this diagonal and and keep h2 in sight. Yeah.
Queen d6, maybe queen h8, and just... Okay.
Oh, he goes for it. Queen b2. Wow, he's threatening rook g2 check now as well.
Maybe... Oh, no time for Lev.
Queen e7.
I think he's lost the thread of this game.
I mean, he should still be doing okay.
Oh, d4's hanging with check, and g7
oh
falls.
my gosh! Hikaru once
And you have
again.
to go rook f2 is king h1, queen e4 check. Oh no.
Such a resourceful defender. It just felt like that position was just moments away.
He might have had queen e4 check there, and that queen e4 check.
Might have been winning. Nice move there.
Rook f6 is a good response.
Keeping the queen cut out, yeah.
And if rook e4, king f3.
h3.
Oh,
Just play
h3 also,
h3.
Yep.
Yeah, play it quickly. Queen h6, very nice.
So even material somehow after all that.
Yeah. But Lev's king is wide
What is that?
What's he
Hang
doing?
e6?
No, but he wants the 2 pawns.
He wants to go for an endgame
Yeah,
there.
the problem again though is the time. Rook.
Oh,
Queen
queen
h7
h7
check.
Hikaru's
Nice
not happy.
find. a4. He's gonna force the king to let the queen come in with check. Nice maneuver
But look
by
at that,
Lev.
if he-
But look at that. If he takes, suddenly black has a pawn that's much further.
So maybe you can't go d3. B6,
b6 is hanging.
No, but then king a3 and the king's safe there.
Oh my god, but Levon has no time. Rook e2,
No.
and he falls. What in the world? Playing with Hikaru Nakamura in these positions is just not fair.
Not fun. It's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fun. It's not safe.
No.
It's hardly family friendly. I mean, it's violent. What he just did is frowned upon, and I think in some areas of Florida. Yeah, let's remind everybody. I swear, I was just about to go to our daily question in a real way, and our producer behind the scenes. Shout out to Aaron. If you haven't given him your love lately, he deserves it. Doing so much awesome stuff to help Chess.com's events and our shows be the best they can be.
That was so
Who
funny.
is responsible for letting the dogs out?
You were so seriously about to read it.
I was just about to do the daily question, which we should get the daily question back because I saw some discussion earlier, some rare productive conversation coming out of the Chess.com TV chat, them suggesting and asking which young star might become world champion. They were talking about Duda, talking about Pragnananda, they're talking about some people who may have a chance to vie for the world title, but that goes well with our daily question, which is who should we invite to next year's Speed Chess Championship, with the young Duda kind of taking the event by storm. So it's nice. It's nice when discussion is productive and healthy, and kind.
Yep.
So.
Well, it's not kind to Hikaru Nakamura.
Hikaru Nakamura is not kind today.
He has doubled Levon Aronian's score, 12-6, and it looked like Levon was going to have that last game. And we've been saying that numerous times, but Hikaru is too fast, too strong, and just he plays with that energy that's necessary to
I just
beat
saw
people in
Twitch
speed
too
chess.
weak, too slow in the Twitch chat, and I don't think Levon is too weak, too slow, but I think whenever you play Hikaru Nakamura, a lot of people feel that way.
Yep.
Because he's good and he's fast, and he brings it.
So let's see here. Got some control of the dark squares on the king's side, but black still has a dark square bishop. Black has control of the only open file that's meaningful right now, the A file. Okay, the white rook can swing to E1 at any moment. So after G4, pawn takes rook is. I would just go knight C7. But you can't really put your knight on E6 so easily, which is annoying because if pawn F7 becomes overloaded very quick. So, yeah. Trying to figure this out. If knight e6, bishop f6 comes.
Knight e6, bishop f6, and then you have threats like bishop takes g6.
Yep.
Knight is undefended.
Okay.
Bishop, yeah, Hikaru's sitting with the bishop here, but I think Levon's position is completely
improving.
fine. There's just no real targets for either side. I mean, from a match strategy point of view, this isn't an ideal kind of game for Lev, right? Just because at this point, this endgame might take another 5 minutes off the clock. I mean, honestly.
Right.
They could just keep playing this forever, and before you know it, you're running out of time to stage your comeback. Of course, Hikaru Nakamura probably going to make any comeback difficult in the bullet portion anyway, because in case you didn't get the memo, coming in. You get that TPS letter on my desk
He's a little
by
bit.
morning.
Whoa, not sure.
Yeah,
Yes, he's-
F4 is not ideal. Now white could get in trouble overextending these pawns and making targets.
yeah, I think he wants to go G4, G5, check, and then F5. Okay, F5 first.
Yep.
I'm sure I believe in this. There's Knight C4 to start with. There's gonna be some problems for white because if you lose your light square bishop,
Yep.
then you have problems with the A2 pawn. Excuse me, this
What?
C2 pawn via the A2 square.
Yep. And Knight C4 could kind of force
Oh.
the loss of the light square bishop. F4.
Overlooked by Hikaru for sure.
Yeah. Kind of gives a small grimace.
But you know what he's not overlooking is the time situation. Up
Yep.
a minute on the clock.
Knight C4. So again, as I was highlighting before, now that forces the trade, and so Robert's idea of the C2 pawn being a problem.
Maybe take the D pawn.
Yeah.
Try
I
to-
like the... Ooh, he didn't, but that might have been interesting to open up an avenue for the king. He's still got king F5, king E4.
Yep, and Rook A2 here is just...
Yeah.
This is probably resignable. Rook C1's by Bishop A3. Take on C2. Bishop E1, now King F5. Yeah, so King F5,
Yeah, I like it.
Rook B6.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was with you. Give up the C6 pawn. But no, Lev trying to have his cake and eat it too, trying to hold down the queen side. Here comes a threat of bishop G3 though. Hikaru playing very fast, keeping pressure on the 7th rank. King B8 would kick the rook out if you're into that. No, he wants... Maybe he'll pull... Does he think he's winning if the rooks come off the board?
Probably.
Because of the C pawn?
Yep.
Right? Because
And
the
the
king
same
can
color
come...
bishop.
The king can come all the way up, and then you put your bishop on a square like A5.
Love the arrows you just drew there.
Yeah,
There's so many of them.
I can get frisky with them sometimes.
You?
Look at that. Jake Loans, we don't know who you are, but we love you. Thanks for all the support, all of our subs, all of our mods. Everybody who's with us, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you.
Maybe Lev's
Yeah,
gonna bring his
he comes back to be... He's going for that idea.
F7.
Rook moves, and now
King
bishop
F6.
back.
Oh, but then King
Ah,
G4.
yeah, you can't move. So Hikaru playing pesky chess, and Levon having to take time to come up with the right plan.
Lev should be very frustrated.
Yeah, and Lev needs this game. He needs to start to work his way back into things here.
He's under 30 seconds on the clock, so right now he's been spending way too much time.
No, Quara's mind. I love you. No, I love you.
Okay, over here.
I'm fine. It's not your fault. Goodwill Hunting. Not your fault.
What a move. Okay, there.
Wow, and he just
Oh,
agreed to a draw.
gosh. Even when Levon gets these really promising positions,
Right.
Hikaru is so resourceful.
Yep. Can't quite convert on him.
What if Levon just shocks us all and became a beast in bullet all of a sudden? Just
Right. Just
destroys Vanessa.
rolls through Nakamura in his home territory.
Yep.
Could be.
Yeah, we've seen this position before. One game where Hikaru played F6, another where he played Bishop F5 and put back on G6.
Yep.
Let's see. Similar position as the other game. We liked Levon's A4, Rook A3
Yeah, that was nice.
lift. See what Hikaru is going to change up here. Because he doesn't need to go Bishop A5 like he's trying to figure it out. Because Levon going back to it because he enjoyed it. Knight A5.
Yeah,
Go-
so this was the position we had, but the bishop
yes.
was on A5, and the knight chose a route via E7. So Hikaru taking a different plan here, but Levon's still into his bishop H5 idea. I like the E5 square. I mean, I will say that.
So do I. But there might be a sacrifice possible.
Yeah, and we already saw Hikaru sack an exchange in this position, this type of game, the last time they had it.
Always love that Bishop A3 move tempo.
You gotta love it. It just feels good to the skin, like our shirts, like our polos. Feels
Yeah.
good on your skin, right? Doesn't it? Okay.
I just want to see how long I could be silent before you'd be like, you're making me feel
I
uncomfortable.
love Tommy's comment. Hikaru finding time to play from his police surveillance van. I like
It
it.
does kind of look like
It looks great.
here in an episode of Law and Order.
Episode of Law and Order, and he's about to open the doors, and there's Ice-T standing there saying, "Let's go get these guys."
Okay, what's going on here? There's some Knight C4, Knight B3 stuff coming
Yep.
near future. Jeffrey Zhang, he brought the heat of the Isle of Man. Definitely true.
Great suggestion.
Jim Andrew Tang more than deserves a shot.
Tang was right on our short list to get an invite into the SEC qualifier. So I don't know that he's an online legend. I don't know that he's a world top junior, as much as online fans don't really maybe think or compare the same level of strength of a guy like Zhang. And that's nothing against Andrew. He's a monster and much better than me. But Zhang's not a bad suggestion. And Zhang's played in the SEC before. He qualified actually in 2017. So that's
Jeffrey would be great.
Where is Jeffrey ranked now in terms of the world's top juniors? He's up there.
Top 5, probably.
Top 5, right?
Yeah.
So Zhang's a good choice, yeah. But I think we already had such a great suggestion. If you missed our daily question earlier, someone responded, why not hold a tournament that's an invitational just for all the world's top juniors and figure out who wants to be there by letting them play each other, right? I like it.
Oh, we have, no one mentioned Sam Sevian.
Sam Sevian, right? Yep.
So just a Wonder Liang. I mean, there's so many good choices. And they're just American players. We mentioned Artemiev. We saw Ali Reza was mentioned from Iran. There, of course, are a number of Indian players, Nihal Sarin, Nagananda.
Yeah, Firouza's a good choice because...
Well, so is his compatriot who won the World Junior.
Yeah.
Parham.
Yep.
Maksudlu.
It'll be fun. I think that tournament's happening. So if they're watching, it's happening.
Yep.
All right, what's happening here, Bill Lumberg? What's happening?
Also, 40 seconds and counting down right now for this time segment here, right, with the 3-minute and 1 second increment. So right now with the black pieces, it looks like so used to saying Caruana Carlson from the World Championship.
We've been living there.
But I think black is a little bit worse here, and the reason why is pawn on e4
Yep.
and the semi-open b file. Those two things in
Me
tandem.
agreed.
Ah, well, look at the king. Now king safety is going to come to question. Play rook b1. Maybe rook b1. Not quite time here. Lev is probably thinking about g4. Just to break open king side.
Yep. I like this idea a lot. e5 is a good move by Hikaru, kind of fixing the weakness there on b7.
Yeah.
And now you've got pressure. You've got c3 under fire.
Right. So c3 though, it's well defended for now. e4 is a big target. Maybe rook e6 so that you can play b4 for black and try to trade off the queens.
Yeah. No, black has worked his way out of it. The position we saw earlier. Now the bishop coming to c7. You might have a battery. Watch out for. Okay, the rook comes to a1. Maybe all the way.
This is what
all the way may.
Yes, what white needs here is to get an attack. Put the rook on a6 or a7. Well, a6 don't do that because in b4. That shocked me. Okay, if you had one extra move, you could play rook a6. That'd be very good, but you don't. And now rook a6. They're threatening d5. Now d5 takes rook g6 check, and then rook g5 at the end. Now a lot of pawns are hanging from black.
Love it. Rook takes g6.
King f7, rook g5. Then rook
c3,
c3, and then push that b pawn.
Take d5, I think.
Yep. So you give up all your pawns.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Ooh, he wants to hold d5. Even better, maybe. But now rook can come to b6 if he wants, or he's just gonna peter it out. We may be getting ourselves into the bullet portion with a peaceful result. Looks like indeed that's what's happened.
Wow.
And
is he flexing?
He was flexing. I think he was
Wait,
stretching.
Is that a jacket? What he's wearing?
I don't know what it is.
I
keep trying to say, like, what is it? Is it corduroy?
No,
is it, how does it feel on his skin? I don't know. These are questions for Hikaru Nakamura that we are certainly going to get into after the show, the important stuff. But we're going to take a very quick break as we get the players set, let them take a breath before we move into the fastest portion of the Speed Chess Championship format. Don't go anywhere because Bullet Chess is right ahead, and it should be fun. And we are back here, 2018 semifinals of the 2018 Speed Chess Championship. Alongside me, the one, the only, Robert Hess. Get at him on Twitter. Sometimes mirror effects are weird. Like, I could never be a weather guy, right? But what's about to happen is the storm of Hikaru Nakamura is moving in from the north. And we're headed into the bullet portion with Levon Aronian and Hikaru both ready. And let's get set and let's do this thing right here, right now.
That was extremely well played.
Yeah?
Your little weather forecasting there.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought that you were going nowhere with it,
Yeah.
but all of a sudden you turned it into a positive little skit. So,
You know,
all right, does Levon know that the game is starting?
all right, here we go. This is going to be exciting. No matter what has happened today, this is our the last chance to see what can happen between Hikaru Nakamura and Levon Aronian before we move on to the finals, which is tomorrow.
Yep.
So if you're marking your schedule or planning your Sunday, you should plan it around 12 noon Pacific time to tune in and watch the Speed Chess Championship. It will be the last match of the year. Right now, Wesley So is simply sitting there waiting, patiently waiting for a chess player to explode on. And that's what's going to happen
Yep.
tomorrow.
And right
So-
now, with the black pieces, Levon opted for the Karo Khan.
Yep.
And Hikaru, okay, slightly better with the white pieces. Knight on c5 is advanced. Couldn't take on b2 there because it would open up the b5 with the rook b1 ideas. And, okay, this pawn a4 as well could become a potential target, right? If I can just, there, knight b6 already threatened it, so queen c2 is the response. And it's a very solid setup for both sides. c3, d4, b2, that pawn chain is great.
Yep.
By the same token, the d5 score is ultra well defended for black, and so it's hard to make clear progress. Watch out for knight takes e6 sacrifice.
Yeah, I was going to say, could he do it, but he didn't. Quickly backs up.
Now rook takes e6 also. You know, you keep your eyes. Oh, he's tempting him.
Oh,
He's tempting him.
I wanted it so bad.
But white is just better because the pawn c6 is actually a target, whereas the pawn on b2, the base of the chain, is not easy to
Yeah.
get to.
Okay, nice move, reacting to c5 with d5. Whoa.
Okay, light square control at
Yep.
its finest.
And again, if you just take a second to consider and appreciate that Hikaru is still up on time. He has more time now than what he started with, and that's not a rare thing that happens when he plays bullet.
Yeah, with the 1 second increment, he just adds time into his clock, and it's ridiculously impressive, frankly. Since, look at Levon, he's on 40 seconds
Yep.
right now.
Already used 40 seconds. Hikaru playing so fast, and up on the clock.
He's gonna go-
Now there's I was going to say there's f4, but he plays it faster than I can highlight it. And that's another thing that happens often.
Queen c5 check, king
King can run.
The knight
c4 is a
f2.
target, so it's not...
knight f2, you have rook d4, so you just put his rook on d4 to close
Yeah, he's going to do
off.
it anyway. Take on b5. You'd like to just start rushing, and maybe you can. Push d6? Yeah, why wait?
But now the a pawn for
Ooh.
black is coming. a4?
Bishop has to guard d7 so that the rook can come back. But here,
Okay, found a way to
Okay,
get
but
back.
if knight d1, now you threaten a2 and c3 at
So
the same
rook,
time.
Rook e8,
Rook e8, a2,
take on d8,
queen,
and then move my rook somewhere. I don't know.
right?
I don't know if I
and
check.
I don't have enough checks. Although I do have queen check and the knight check, but the king's going to hide on h4.
I don't
Hikaru's
know.
calculating this whole thing right now. I'm telling you, look at his eyes. Yep, he's going for it.
Take. Oh,
We're
take.
going to see exactly that.
You know, you take, get a queen, and go rook e8.
Rook a8 even.
E8. Rook e8. Queen
e8
b2
or
check,
a8.
and
I
then
think they
bishop
both
g2.
work because the king can hide.
I don't think the king wants to go to h4. That seems very risky.
But I think you might get mated if you're black anyway. Yeah, he's taking a moment. Okay, he's kind of bailing out now to get the queen with check, rather than going for the lines we wanted. But he will probably meet this with bishop g2.
Oh, wait a second. No. Okay, I didn't actually like bishop g2. Now I like your knight f2 idea. This is a weird
Knight
game.
e3 comes into g4.
So-
Suddenly, wow. Whoa! The queen comes, he just walks right into discovered check like it's nothing. I love it. Queen
So good.
e6. Okay, the queen and knight are
Wait,
super
wasn't
dangerous
h5
in
just
these
hanging?
setups.
Bishop takes h5 was
Bishop
just
takes
hanging.
h5 was on the board. The pawn was pinned on g6. Okay, Hikaru will probably try to settle this out with a draw.
No, he's winning.
He's winning now because
Yep.
g6 falls?
Yep, with check.
Oh, and he plays queen e8 check. Oh man, and he's feeling it. He's feeling it. Hikaru is feeling it.
Yeah, he's bouncing. This
He's
is
bouncing.
his time control of choice.
If he's if Who Let the Dogs Out is still on repeat, we're gonna have a big talk with Hikaru after the show. But if you're just joining us, one of the songs Hikaru was listening to today was Baja Men, Who Let the Dogs Out.
Do we really have a Berlin and Bullet?
Take that for what you will. Yeah, Berlin and Bullet.
Okay, so we got some mainline Berlin action going on in the Bullet portion. The bishop on e6. Even if you were able to capture it, f takes e6. That kind of structural transition is not bad.
Hikaru knows these positions so well, too. I mean, not that Levon doesn't, but this is like so easy for him to play with the black pieces. I mean, if you don't believe me, look at the clock.
This is Grishuk-Rodstein, something like I think he took on e7 first. But anyway,
it's amazing how deep the Berlin theory has gotten. I mean, we saw Hikaru's match with Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, right? Last year's SCC.
Yep.
I mean, we had so many Berlins, and these guys were going into the 30s with theory.
Okay, rook b3, now a5 is a possibility, but then b5 is a response. So you'd love to break open the b file, you're just not in time. Now a5, if you... What's his idea here with rook? Can't go... I'm trying to figure it out, but you're moving too quickly and too well. For me.
Back up the bishop so you don't have to deal with knight g6 with tempo, possibly. Oh, no, he doesn't. He gets the tempo, but now you got to worry about the e-pawn in some lines. Takes. There's nothing to do about taking with the pawn. Now white just has the 2-on-1. Oh, f5's a nice move. Knight e7.
Get that pawn
coming
back.
into c4.
And white's king being a little bit exposed could be somewhat of an issue, especially if the rook comes to h8 quickly. Rook on h8.
I love that.
And if you go king g2, there might be some pins with rook.
Oh, that's a good point. And now all of a sudden the king is overworked. Levon having to come up with the right maneuver now. This is a moment where you could blunder easily and you only have 20 seconds.
I like that move. Aggressive. I would take it. A b4, c4, bishop e3, and just try to push my d4 pawn to d4. Okay, you played it first.
Yeah. Now there's no more devastating checks really.
Rook a2 coming.
Yeah. Black playing for a win here, but not enough.
Rook d3, rook a2, rook d4. It's like a repetition.
Nietzsche.
Although rook d3, king f5, maybe Hikaru will just be crazy.
Yeah.
King f5 is rook f5 check. Whew.
Nothing. Wow.
Why did Hikaru seem so confused?
I don't know. I think maybe he pressed the draw button because he thought they had repeated 3 times or something, and they hadn't. I don't know. I saw the same little quick eyes
king
start.
e2.
King e2.
He meant to go queen e2.
He mouse slipped.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is Levon's game to get.
Yeah, if you're gonna get any game in the bullets when your opponent's king is on e2.
People claiming that the Bong Cloud lives. This is not the Bong Cloud, but yes, it's potentially similar.
It's funny because white's not doing so badly here.
Yeah. Honestly, he's castled by hand. It's a completely normal position.
Just maybe down like 2 tempi.
Yep. The chat going nuts. They love that. Maybe
Hikaru
Hikaru did on purpose for the 20,000 of you with us. Who knows?
I doubt it. So why didn't you go bishop c4? Okay.
Okay, the knight comes into h4, g6.
Queen f7 is a possibility here, just defending everything. Yep.
Right, and you've also got the control over here in the light squares.
You're spying on the b3
but this
square.
should still give Lev a decent game here. I know he didn't punish king e2 in the way you would think, but black still has some potential for an attack. But look at the clock. I mean, is he serious, Hikaru?
Especially if they're playing king to e2 so early.
Right. He had to take no time to work his way out of it.
I have no idea how to evaluate this position either. It's just getting crazy.
Yep.
So queen
He's completely serial right now.
Super serial.
Super serial.
So the c7 pawn is hanging, but perhaps it's not a valuable thing to start going over the side like this. Okay.
Wow, he just grabs the pawn.
So
I like this move by Lev. Here comes f3. That's where we want it.
Queen h5 is...
Yeah, queen h5. If you can trade on g2 and get to h3, Hikaru's just finding all the most accurate defensive moves, and
He's doing it so quickly.
Now an 83 comes in, though. Did he miss that?
Yep. He
Okay.
Oh, his
Oh,
face!
we missed it. We've had 2 moments today where I've asked just a question. If
Yeah.
Hikaru missed something, and he immediately tells us with his facial expressions that he did.
You're very good at understanding when Hikaru has blundered.
Oh man, the emotion is real. But okay, what's funny is
Is he not even worse?
he still has this crazy level of compensation, and he's still up on the clock. It's just, I mean, I say it's hilarious, but it's not. It's not funny.
Yeah,
It's evil. It's evil Nakamura. Bad
Knight
knockout.
G1, he
Knight
missed
G1,
Knight
he missed
G1,
it.
he missed
Oh, he
My turn. My turn to point one out.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's funny.
And he just laughs it
He
off.
laughed it off. Well,
he struggled with the
those knights got a little bit loosey-goosey over there. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, Levon strikes the 6-game lead. Not impossible, right?
But
You have
improbable.
improbable, especially because of who he's playing, right? He's
Yes.
already playing, I know everyone says that Hikaru lost to Magnus in this format for sure, but I believe the only portions where Hikaru beat Magnus, at least the first time around, was in Bullet. I don't remember what happened last year, if Magnus
Don't remember.
won all the portions. So anyway, obviously in Bullet, Hikaru he's just
Just kind of good.
look at the clock. He's 1 minute and 7 seconds.
They have repeated this position a number of times, though. So I think Levon. It's hard to criticize because you are playing Hikaru,
Yep.
and I've lost so many games to Hikaru that. Wait, what's going on? Did Hikaru just blunder Bishop? He did.
He did. 2 in a row. He's laughing. 2 games in a row, right? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not yet. Remember, I called a win versus Hikaru when I won a rook, and Hikaru went on to dominate and crush me.
Yep.
The last time we played in the Arena Kings.
But
And by the way, then he talked a ton of smack to me on Slack. So just if you want to wonder if he does, he does.
Of course he does. But he's playing Levon Aronian here, and
Right?
so
Yeah. I don't think Levon is going to lose up a piece like I did.
No.
So
hard to imagine that happening. So let's see.
that F pawn is also pretty good.
Yep. What's the way to knock out here? Because you don't want to let this game go on too long. You start worrying, oh, look at that. Can't take on G4 because Rook takes the 8 check.
Yeah.
So
Very
instead
nice.
he's just trading
Nice
queens.
little maneuver, making it easy on himself. Levon is.
Yeah, there goes the E pawn.
There goes my Eddie the Eagle wants to become Ellen on E8.
Oh, is Hikaru's gonna lose on time?
Yeah. Well, he's taking his time. He's kind of make sure he puts himself in a smart position, which is good from an insurance perspective. Because wait, there's mate. He plays it out to mate. I love it. The thing about Hikaru is he understands the match strategy, Robert, and that if he was going to go on tilt,
Yep.
he doesn't want to give Levon a chance to beat him in the match, right?
Right.
So he's going to take as much time as he can off the total clock here
Yep.
to ensure that even if Levon rattles off 4 wins right now, it's still super difficult to come back. So
And it's funny because normally people would say, "Oh, just resign," all this
Right.
stuff. But it's good gamesmanship, right? You can't criticize.
it's part of the. It's like It's like yelling at an NBA player for dribbling and using the shot clock when they're up on time. When they're up on the scoreboard.
Right.
Right. Shout out to Kitty Kitty Hiss Hiss. We love you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Haven't seen you in a while. Appreciate all your support.
You know what I haven't seen in a while
What?
is Hikaru Nakamura losing a mini match of Bullet. He's down 2.5, 1.5 in the Bullets.
Right. He's actually down in the bullet portion, which is crazy. If you're a new viewer here, 21,000 of you, make sure you hit that follow button before you don't go anywhere. The finals is tomorrow. The championship will feature Wesley So versus the winner of today's match, which we can't call it yet, right? 5 games, has been overcome in bullet before. Maybe not with 16 minutes, but Levon is not out of it yet.
Someone just called him LeBron Aronian.
Levon Aronian,
I love that.
right?
Okay, but Lev doing well with the black pieces here. This is a setup where it looks a little bit threatening, right? The queen and rook on the king side for white, but your pawn structure, e6, f7, g6, keeps it very solid. In fact, the white pawn structure is worse, and white is down a pawn. Right?
Yeah.
We have to do a quick pawn count. So, wait, there might be some sacrifice on e6 that you have to consider. Takes, h... Oh, whoa!
Wait, just losing.
Oh, nice. Because he thought if h takes, it would be you'd lose on the pawn e6 anyway. You just sacrificed it and went to this end game where black is better. That is actually
that's
brilliant.
that's like, especially to come up with that. I don't know. It was a shocking move, but very interesting idea. He owns the D file. He's got a better pawn structure, as you were highlighting. The problem is Ellen over here reaching the
Rook
E8
F3 is
square.
a good move, though. If you trade on F3, then the bishop just dominates that king side.
That's
Rook
irritating
D2.
when the bishop owns squares like this.
Oh, Rook D2 immediately. Okay, B5 is also
Yeah,
good.
if E6 is ever played, black has king F6. So Levon is not worried about that. Rook D2 now. And again, if E6, okay, he goes after the pawn, but look out.
You don't...
Yeah. Get your king on a dark square in a hurry.
7. Okay, E6. Win that pawn.
Wait, you can't take C3 because bishop F5 check.
But Rook D2. E5's fallen.
E5 is falling.
Take that.
Olympus has fallen. Hikaru might be losing.
What's he thinking about? Just take the pawn.
What is he think? Oh,
No, why would you trade your great bishop? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
bishop back. At least now you'll take the pawn. It's even worse for
yeah. I don't understand why
C5.
why Levon did that. What's he going for here in the rook ending? I
He's
don't
just
know.
gonna take it on D1 and go A4.
Taking on D1 and go A4. I like it. Yeah.
Because king E5 would have or Rook D5 check. So
Yeah. He's
A3.
gonna get the pawn all the way
A3.
to A2. A3 and A2. Levon, what about the
Oh,
time
that's actually
he's
a pretty
taking?
good move. A3.
A3 now, and if rook over, but he's still trading. I feel like the wrong pawn.
Yeah, it's not easy here. But
Obviously, he's under time pressure, and it's not easy playing Hikaru. I mean, just ridiculous to see the time difference here, but it still feels like almost like he overthought that one a little bit.
But here goes king E6 to D5 and push that C pawn. King C4 first.
No, he had king C4. You're right.
Cut the king off.
That was the difference. King C4 would have been. Yeah, he's still trying to work the king around. Now you go after the F file. No, he's still trying to work the queen side. Rook C7. Okay,
You could have thought
interesting.
about going king D5 even.
Now rook F7. And if
King
F4,
D5.
king D5, and he can work his way in. But here comes C4 and
Yep.
king E4.
King E4.
He has winning
king
chances.
E4. Do it.
I don't
lose
know
on
why
time.
he's taking so
Go.
long, but yeah, he's getting himself
Take it.
under serious. He
Rook
can take
F4.
with the rook,
Rook
and
F4,
G5
winning
wins.
endgame. G5.
Yep, it's a
Wow.
Lucina.
Hikaru's so
Hikaru-
frustrated.
Malvin,
Wow.
what am I doing? What am I doing? Wow,
Two-game lead.
I've never seen him lose so many games in bullet in a row.
Yeah.
Like I've seen Hikaru lose several games in bullet, obviously pretty much only to Magnus in these formats. But this is ridiculous. Wow.
4-game lead. I mean, I'm shocked that this is what's happening. I would have expected the lead to be in Hikaru's favor, but him winning all the bullets.
Then
right?
you asked the question. You said, "What if Levon just surprises us and is a monster in bullet?" Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you asked. Maybe you set this thing in motion with a question that the universe was waiting for.
I'm
right?
very surprised.
Like, when is my wife gonna let me get a dog?
Is
That's
D5
another
coming?
universe question.
D5.
Yeah. I think I'd be a good dad to a dog. What? She won't let the dogs out. That's why we
Wait,
can't get
Hikaru
one.
is losing
Yeah.
a piece here. D5.
Hikaru's just losing.
D5.
Oh my gosh.
Levon!
Well, Hikaru said this yesterday when Jan Christoph started falling apart. He said, the tilt is real in these formats because you don't have time to take a break to emotionally gather yourself.
Yeah.
And Hikaru is on a bit of a tilt here.
Huge tilt. And like if Lev wins this, he's +3 in the bullet, only down 3 points in the match. And this is unbelievable stuff. Queen D5 would have traded the queens on the spot, so that was a missed opportunity for Levon.
Still winning though.
Of
He's
course,
just
he's
up
up
a
a
straight
piece.
up piece here. A 3-game lead with 10 minutes to go, if he can win this in the next 2 minutes, is not insurmountable.
Yeah.
Hikaru will have to win a game to fend off the comeback, and right now
Take 8.
it
Take
just seems
D3.
very straightforward for Levon to win this one again. He has the knight coming to E1.
Bishop takes D4 is meant by Bishop D5?
Bishop D5
No,
and
then
Mizzo.
Queen A4. Queen A4.
Queen A4, and he's back in it.
Oh no!
Oh, Levon
And now
blundered.
Black's better.
B3.
No, B3 Queen A1.
Oh my gosh.
I was just spying it. I was like, oh.
Oh, wow. Queen A1, and Black has turned it around. That was the game that Hikaru Nakamura needed
Queen
to try to
B2 here.
slow down the Levon train.
Queen B2 is just devastating. Rook A2 I wasn't expecting as much, but still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is now knight F4 comes. You're just in trouble here. Oh, it's so
Wow.
brutal.
Wow.
That is
Just
such a
absolutely
turnaround.
heartbreaking right there. I mean, seriously.
Okay, he's doing this on purpose then. The king's on E2 again. That's just disrespectful, my opinion.
He did it again?
Yep.
Well, maybe he's got a little system worked out. But here, now Levon's coming after him.
And Levon's just clearly angry.
Yeah, frustrated.
And I would be angry too if my opponent played against me.
Yep.
Because objectively, it's just not good chess, right? To put your king on e2 and then hand castle.
Just feels like black should have some sort of clear way to just punish this.
Now he's going to take on d4 next. Queen e4, pawn takes d4. Queen d5
Knight to
even.
d5 coming, knight to
Yeah.
f5 coming.
I take on...
Both those moves are good, though. I mean, you can put the knight on f5, bring the other knight to e7. Ooh.
There's queen d5.
Queen d5 not bad at all either, right?
Knight f3 is just pinned.
Trades, brings the knight in, f4's falling.
So knight g3. But I didn't like knight d5. That was a bad move.
Yeah.
You should have taken on f3 and taken on d4. Just take that.
Now, can he take f3 intermezzo? Can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does.
Okay, so what's the piece count? Even number of pawns?
Yeah,
even...
black's in good shape in the endgame, but now king g2, rook f8.
Wait,
Oh,
he hung the h-pawn?
he's giving it to him?
He hung it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he made it look like, what am I doing? Why is the
he
rook on
gave
H?
us he gave us the
Wow,
H, the
I was
H3
like, why
look.
is the rook on h6? But he went to go g5.
Yeah, guarding the c6 pawn.
But
Pretty awesome.
This is a very weird game.
Yeah, I mean, well, it starts weird when your opponent plays king e2. So
Boy, you see Hikaru's face? He's like so shocked by something.
yeah,
I don't know what's happening here. I'm just surprised by everything. King e2 second.
that last game is still a hangover for me.
Yeah.
Just that Levon had a win. I mean, that win would have brought us to a 3-game lead. Instead, we're back to 5.
That was a very critical moment because Hikaru was kind of on tilt.
Yeah, he was tilting. The hype was real. The tilt was real. The hype is real for Chess Bay.
b4.
Thank you so much.
You're winning, Hikaru. Stop talking. Why didn't you go b4?
Before,
He missed b4. He was just winning. Now he's not winning.
well, can he still get before?
Yeah, but the difference is the rook was on c7 throwing
Oh
the
yeah,
c6
and that's
pawn.
that's why he smacked himself in the face. Like, what am I doing?
But he was upset before b4. Yeah, so the point is you can't take on.
Yeah.
Even when the rook was on b7, you couldn't take on b4 because then why would have gotten a queen?
Yeah, so black is fine. He'll probably just sit,
Yep.
play tickle, and
That's it.
not Robert. Hikaru's gonna let this one tick out, take time off the clock.
Hikaru is very upset about something.
Well, I think he knows he missed before. Like you said, it was a win.
Yep.
For
Look at
white.
him. He's just gonna take the
And
time
that would
off.
have really put the nail in the coffin. Now, there's still this outside puncher's chance, although, again, if you're just joining us, Levon won 3 games in a row and was on the verge of winning a 4th game in a row in Bullet. The score was 3.5, 1.5, and Levon lost the last game. So just a huge win for Hikaru to push the lead back to 5 as Levon was trying to stage a comeback.
And yeah, and thank you to SCV Ready for gifting some subs. I've seen you do that a couple times here, handful. So thank you for that.
SCV.
Ready.
Scott Van Pelt?
SCV.
Oh, I don't know.
What's going on here?
Whoa.
Hikaru's losing
Wait,
now.
Hikaru just blundered it.
Why
He's
did you do
lost.
this?
G3 and H2, and he's just lost.
Well, now h2, king h1, and then just rook b2 or something.
Yeah.
Just bring the king in.
Yeah, and it's frozen.
Oh my gosh. He thought he could do whatever he wanted, and
Yeah. Okay, well, again, if Levon had won the last game, if Levon had won the last game and this game, we'd
Yeah.
be talking about a 2-game match.
yeah. E6.
Wow.
Also, I think someone named Christoph just subscribed, so maybe either that's just their name or they're Jan Christoph Duda.
Jan Christoph Duda. Maybe it is the JKD.
DJKD.
If Jan Christoph Duda and Jean-Claude Van Damme had a baby, what would it be named?
Good question.
Question for the chat.
C5, C4, B4, C3. These moves are easy to predict when it's so winning.
Yep.
H1 queen.
Yeah, H1 queen is on the board.
It's been a possibility for a little bit now.
Yeah. Okay, and now Hikaru's going to finally let his time run out. No, he's not. He's going to play it to mate.
I mean, it's a good match, right? Especially when
Yeah,
you're tilting like
he's milking the clock right now, and maybe Levon will mate him in like a really cute fashion here with all the ladies. If King E5, it was mate and 1 on Queen E1, so we avoided it.
Why didn't he go Queen
Yeah,
G1?
Queen G1 was better, but okay. Maybe Levon is now
Rook
going to
E5.
find his own funny mate.
Maybe he just Feels like the match is lost, so he's just gonna.
Yeah, he's gonna do his own funny mate.
I hope so.
Okay, well, Hikaru
mate.
lets himself lose on time, and we're witnessing the equivalent of chess trolling right now a little bit, but also a little bit of just gamesmanship. Not sure why the game hasn't started yet.
Yeah, next game.
Maybe Levon doesn't know that there's still time left. I think Hikaru has rematched, but not sure. We'll get the game to start here in just a second. There we go. There we go.
Okay. I'm sure we'll make the necessary time back on the clock.
Yeah. No, it's pretty normal. All right. Well, we have yet at least one more game here. If Levon wins again, the match gets closer. And as much as it maybe you think it doesn't totally matter in terms of whether Hikaru. Okay, it's going to be very hard for him to lose now. If we're being totally honest, 4 games with 5 minutes to play. But every one of these games is worth about like $300. Like seriously, because if you remember the prize format, yesterday Wesley So won more than $5,000 based on a dominant performance of 20-7.
Yep.
Right, and so every one of these games, the format is that there's a base prize for the winner and the loser, and then every game is worth a certain amount of money as every round goes on. So these final 4 matches, there's more than $12,000 in just those, and in just the 2 matches. So anyway,
Yeah.
the point is, it's not like these guys are hurting and they do well when they play chess, but obviously from a Blitz perspective and the fact that you're kind of playing for a few hours, then it's a few $100.
You can wear whatever Hikaru's wearing and play on this.
Yeah. You can wear whatever I'm wearing down low.
You mean jeans?
Oh, yeah. Party up top? No, party down low. Business up top.
Yeah. So this looked better for White a few moves ago, but at this point, actually, there's under 4 minutes remaining in the match. So even if Hikaru were to lose this one, he could just let himself lose on time every single game in a match. But he's not going to lose this. I think he's very committed to winning in the bullet in particular. So he needs to come back for his own sort of emotional well-being.
Yeah. Well, he's played well in the bullet. I mean, to be honest, Levon has played very well in the bullet portion.
But this King E2 stuff, I'm not going to be able to get over that.
The Bond Cloud trolling.
Just, I don't know. Especially, you're already winning in the match, and so you're kind of feels.
Well, it almost backfired. I mean, Levon was a win away from it being a 2-game lead right now.
Yeah, just something about it rubs me the wrong way, and I get it. Like, you're winning and you just want to flex for the audience, but something about it just.
I think it's a twitch, but I think he thinks it's in good fun. But we'll see. I mean, obviously, we'll ask the players how they feel about it. But right now, this is a game that. Oh wait, Bishop takes e3, not possible. Rook hanging with check.
Yeah, it's a good way to get counterplay. The pawn G7 is a target.
Yeah, actually. White may have more than I thought.
That's what Bong Cloud is, the name of that opening?
I honestly don't even know.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah?
But the chat begged him to play Bong Cloud. That's why he did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's clearly reading the chat.
Well, I was very confused when anyone said Bong Cloud. It's not what I
No, it's an actual opening,
Yeah,
and they were asking him to do it. So
now I get that. Didn't get it at the time.
yeah.
Okay, so anyway, this end game, somehow Levon's up. Oh, the pawn's getting lost, so it's going to be
Raw.
But Hikaru might play on for
SCV. Thank you so much, man. You're just going nuts and throwing the love, and we appreciate it. And
yep,
it's been a long month and a long couple matches here, but we are bringing this thing to a close on Sunday as far as all the chess that you've seen from the World Chess Championship leading up to, in many ways, Chess.com's championship here, the Speed Chess Championship.
And we have Anna Chess.
Anna Chess is in the chat.
Yeah.
Shout out to Anna. Good to have you back.
Yeah.
Great coverage over there with Judith. Excited to have Anna back as we get prepared for the Pro Chess League coming up. So, and there you go. Hikaru Nakamura will be playing in the Pro Chess League, of course, for the Seattle Sluggers. And He goes for it again.
I mean, he's playing to the crowd. Got to
Yeah.
give him some respect for that, I guess. I didn't realize exactly why he was doing it because, as
But
noted,
now we know. Now we know. But okay, I'm hoping Levon gets this one.
me too.
Like in maybe even in crushing fashion, just
Yeah.
to like
Oh,
help
look
the
at this.
cloud, help the chat know that the Bond cloud is not a solid opening. But okay, we've got we got Magnus Carlson hanging out in the chat.
Agnith? How was your birthday?
So many of
Magnith?
you with us still here. So thank you for being here. The match is officially coming to an end in 30 seconds, but this game does count toward the total score. So this last game is probably worth about $250, $275. So, you know, it's a nice dinner. And we're going to be joined, though, by the players for interviews. So don't go anywhere. We will obviously get all of their thoughts on what happened here today and get Hikaru Nakamura's thoughts on facing Wesley So in the championship, which will be tomorrow at noon Pacific. So don't go anywhere.
Look at Levon
Interviews coming right up.
playing this game. You know, he has to win this one.
Yep.
So it's knight c2. I guess you can just take it. Trying to figure out tactics.
Trying to figure it out. Oh, man. The players have been informed that this is the last game. They now know.
So impressive, honestly, that Hikaru Nakamura can play this crazy bad opening and fend off a GM of Levon Aronian's caliber, right? Super Grandmaster. Uh-oh. There went g6. So all of a sudden, Levon's position's looking worse.
Yeah, Hikaru. Working the cloud. The fans will be...
I like that move, though. Knight f3 back. Well, knight f3, then there's
yeah,
check.
the other rook is coming in on the c-file here at some point. He gets it, but there's no follow-up. And look how hard this is for black. If you take g5, knight takes g5, it's just over.
Yep.
And if you don't take g5, then the h6 pawn is falling, so maybe you have to keep the rooks on the g-file. Yeah. I thought he might double on the second rank there instead of rook c3.
But the problem is doubling on the second rank didn't have a concrete threat, so rook c1 would have come
so
anyway.
rook c1's coming anyway, and here comes c8 as a problem, and
he won.
Hikaru Nakamura wins the final game here of the Speed Chess Championship. And we have closure on who will be playing in the finals. We will get closure on this day, being joined by both of these amazing players here in just a few seconds, so don't go anywhere. Be right back. And we are back. Thank you, everybody that is with us right now. We're at peak viewership, so you guys tuned in to a very exciting match, and now we get to have interviews with these players. Levon, I guess we'll start with you. You were putting together quite the run there in the bullet portion, and we thought we might be in store for an epic comeback. That the one game that got away from you. Is this like a secret Levon thing? Are you just a secret bullet monster waiting in the wings?
No, the thing is the fate of the match was already decided, so
yeah,
that explains why I was doing well in the bullet. You know, and the pressures of you have already shown your real strength. Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, it seemed like in the Blitz there was just a lot of games that were close and could have gone either way, but then you were just consistently down on time. And is that just that's just the side effect of playing Hikaru in Blitz, where he's just so fast?
I think it's a side effect of playing Hikaru and the side effect of not playing Blitz.
Yeah.
I rarely play Blitz, so
Yeah, and
that's the explanation, I guess.
Yeah.
and Hikaru, of course, you are very accustomed to playing Blitz. You've been streaming a lot. So what was your preparation like for this match against Levon?
All
Not a whole
puzzle
lot. I
rush.
mean, I looked at a few things actually in the Italian before the match, which actually seemed to work out quite well. But I mean, for me, the match came down to really. I mean, it was two critical games at the start. There was that first one when I would think I was up one game, where Lev had black, and I think he kind of blundered this queen sack for the rook and the knight. I think it was, but then he probably was winning at some point. When he didn't win that, and then when he didn't win the following game in this Italian, where it looked like he was just mating me. I mean, I think after that it was just going to be an uphill battle.
Well, Lev, on that note, then, what did you also prepare that Italian, or was that just something you kind of fell into and Hikaru guessed right? You had a lot of very, very close attacks that just couldn't quite be finished off.
No, I didn't really prepare that, but I have some knowledge since I play E5 with myself.
Right.
But I'm not that brave to play G5 on a regular basis, so I wasn't that familiar with those positions.
Yes.
Therefore, I played badly. I handled them badly.
Speaking of brave choices, Hikaru, can you tell us about what you're wearing? Because a lot of people in the chat wanted to know. What's going on here?
About your outfit, the turtleneck and the plaid. Like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
It's cold. It's cold here in Italy. I kind of had to. Yeah, it's cold. I mean, you got to wear warm clothes if it's cold. So why not? Figure dress in style. Try to play like I'm in style, and it seemed to work out.
Yeah. Well, really appreciate you guys joining us. We know it's a roller coaster. These things, several hours of Blitz and Bullet, and then got to answer our silly questions. But Lev, you had a great Speed Chess Championship this year, making it to the semifinals, and obviously we'll be excited to have you back. Hikaru, looking ahead, you have Wesley So. You've done well against Wesley in this format in the past, as Wesley said yesterday. But what did you see from Wesley yesterday against Duda, and what are your thoughts on that matchup tomorrow?
Yeah, I think I played Wesley once already in the Speed Chess Championship. For me, it was the death matches at the time, and I beat him that time around. But Wesley played quite well against Jan Christos. I think maybe you guys, because you put him at 44% to win the match, that helped him out. I mean, so maybe if you guys put it at 10%, he's going to be super motivated to beat me. But yeah, Wesley's played quite well yesterday. I mean, I felt that he was very stable throughout. That's been his strength. Whereas Jan Christos he just went on this massive tilt, and when you tilt, bad things happen. So I'll just try not to tilt. Maybe play some Bond Cloud if I get the chance tomorrow. Obviously, I think people on my channel, they saw me stream this morning, so I said I would do it. So I just had to do it for Kitty Hissis and everyone else who's watching. So it's going to be a fun match, and I just looking forward to playing well because I play Fabiano soon. So it's a bit of a warm up.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for sticking with us, answering our questions, and obviously, Levon, wish you the best of luck. You're traveling to London, right?
Presumably?
London.
Yeah.
In a week.
In a week, and Hikaru will be there too. And early, just best wishes for that tournament, and we'll see you guys next year. Hikaru, we will see you tomorrow.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, well, those are our competitors. That was I didn't have a lot of post-match questions. Sorry if I dropped the ball on that.
No, you didn't. It just, it's sort of kind of what happens when so much excitement, right? It's even hard to come up with the exact question. I think Hikaru summed it up very well. There was that early game where he discussed where it was really back and forth. He was better, then he was worse and almost losing, and he survived. So,
well, and I didn't want to ask Lev a lot of questions when I know he obviously it's hard to lose a match and you're frustrated, and he said he didn't play well. I thought the quality of chess was actually very good, and Hikaru kind of resourcefully swindled his way out of a few games, and then also Lev just consistently down on time.
It just goes to show what Hikaru does here. Levon said as much, right? Playing Hikaru Nakamura, he just gets ahead on the clock, and the position is still very tough, so you don't have time to figure it out. And Hikaru, to his credit, played exceptional chess today.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's not over yet for all of you, the fans, or for us tomorrow. We have the finals, so we will have Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura taking on Grandmaster Wesley So. They are the last 2 men standing in our bracket, and we will have the call for that at 12 noon Pacific time. So make sure you give us a follow before you go anywhere so you get an alert, and we will see you then. Again, thanks to everybody, all the subs, all the crazy just generosity and all the love that was coming there, SCV and everybody else who was, sorry I'm forgetting everyone's names, but just thank you so much. Thank you to all of our members over at the Chess.com TV chat as well. And we will see you guys in less than 24 hours.